What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another episode of the Smark Moment Smack Talk podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango. Joining me, as always, are the guys that have been holding down the fort for the past couple of weeks. You know them, you love them. You got Callum Wiggins.
Hello there.
And Robert DeFelice.
Hey, we're all back together again. It was like, it was a concerning 3 weeks. I didn't know if we'd ever get to this point again, and I'm just glad we're here.
The Dream Team's back together, fitting for this Time Machine Dream Team episode that we are on right now. It's a combination of a lot of things, actually. It's Time Machine Dream Team, it's fantasy booking, it's the mock draft, it's wrestling with the past. So the labels on the website are all over the place. It's just taking up like multiple rows because it's also, it's a list and it's a podcast and it's Mac Talk and it's WWE and it's whatever. I think this might be the most labels I've ever used on a single post before, actually. So, hey, records are being broken, and not just by Randy Orton.
First time ever.
So we are doing something here that we've done before. We did the Time Machine Dream Team 3 times, I think, in the past, and we're changing it up a little bit. Instead of just spitting out some random ideas and going like, all right, well, here's a team concept, and who could we go with? I don't know, team high flying people, and then you go, all right, what high flyers can we put on this team? Instead, we're going to use an actual list that we have to pick from. And the list that we're picking from is our ultimate WWE Roster all-time mock draft thing that we had done with a series of specials that we had recorded over the whole 10-year anniversary kind of concept. And we have, 115 men that we had picked and 36 women. So we're not going to have an even amount of teams, even if we went with teams of 4 versus teams of 5. But we'll have to settle on that too if we want to do one way or the other way or something like that. But we're going to basically have those available, and those superstars are going to be put into teams. And we're going to try to make the best possible card that we can out of the best possible Survivor Series teams. We're not going to factor in time, because the whole point is to just use as many of these as we possibly can. And I don't know, theoretically, fine, Survivor Series is a week. Fine, there you go. But that's how we're going to kind of do it. And we're going to do it based off of themes. We're going to toss out some weird ideas. We're going to bounce people around. And if you're listening to this on the YouTube side of things, you'll be able to see it on your screen where we're kind of categorizing people. If you're on the audio only stuff, it'll be a little bit harder to follow, but I'll try to compensate by, naming all the names a couple different times and stuff. So let me switch over to our screen share thing, so now people can actually see it. It'd be useful if I actually did that instead of just keeping the other thing up the entire time, right? Right now, I wrote out the math here. We can have, for the women, 9 teams of 4 with a load of leftovers, or 7.2 teams of 5. And for the men, 23 teams of 5, or 28.75 teams of 4. Just to start off with that idea in general, teams of 5 we're going with, right? Or do you guys think teams of 4 is better?
I think teams of 5 strive to survive sounds a lot better than teams of 4. That's it.
Teams of 4.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Teams of 4 go to war. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think there should be a variety.
We could just do that. I mean, maybe that'll...
Well, just spitballing one here. If we were to throw the Undisputed Era into a team together, then we're just adding another person to it.
True.
Well, that's fair. You know what? That's why you're the smart one, Cal.
You mean to tell me that Andre the Giant doesn't fit in the Undisputed Era? Come on. Out of all the people, that was the one I thought would be the funniest. Actually, I don't know. Who would be the funniest to go in there? Let me try to figure that out right now.
It'd be someone like Rick Steiner or something.
Devon Dudley?
Yeah, shock the system.
Maybe we'll just do a variety of that then. And then maybe the math will work out for the most part. It's at least an even amount for comes the women. The men, different story. But the women. I think we might start off with the women just to, keep the list a little bit more consolidated that way and kind of do that. But maybe we'll have some other ideas. And of course, while we're doing this, I want to remind everybody, drop your comments below. Tell us your thoughts on different team ideas that you've got, because I'm sure there are tons of different ideas we could go with that are oddball teams or very specific things like the Undisputed Era, or we could take like those different members and go, let's have Team Wild Card and do that kind of thing or something. But if you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments below. Do the all usual stuff, like and share and subscribe and follow and share and blah 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 blah. I don't need to bog that down too much. We will have a little bit of an ad break at some point in here, just to remind you about another thing that's going on. But merchandise shops, TeePublic and Redbubble. There you go, done. So Callum, you've got a lot of ideas for these lists. Rob and I did not do that ahead of time.
Let's be clear, okay? Look, we all got through all the fantasy booking. Rob just brings whatever Rob is going to bring, okay?
I love that the responses for that, by the way, we're
just like, oh, fuck. He is just throwing things at the wall.
Yeah, it's like the first episode's like, oh my god, this is such a cool concept that you guys are doing this. I love this. I think it was Cloud that had said it. I don't remember for sure. It might have been Kyle. About the that this is in the Mount Rushmore of the episodes. Like, this is so cool. I can't wait to see the rest of the series. And we start getting into like our cards, and people are like, all right, like I'd go with a couple different things than Tony's card, but this is pretty good. I like this. This is a good combination. And then we go with Callum's card, and it's like, hey, this might be like the best overall wrestling card or whatever. And then it comes to Rob's, and people are like, Rob, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's exactly.
To be fair, they were kind of responding to what me and Tony were kind of like on the actual call itself. It was like,
that's true.
That's true.
Just jumping on.
Piling on.
Yeah.
But fun nonetheless. And then, I've been loving this series that we had recorded. I was so eager to see the response from everybody, to see if everybody else loved it as much as we did. Because all three of us were just kind of like, you know what? This is a lot of fun. Let's keep doing more of these. People like them. And you guys do. So all the more reason why we're doing this today. Because Survivor Series already went by. We could have just started going into another topic. We could have done a top rope list. We could have done, I don't know, wrestling with the past discussion on something, or going over about all the releases or whatever. Nah, let's do more of this. This is fun. We want to have more fun. We want you to have fun. So keep listening. Tell us one of the ideas that you got for the women, Callum. Did you have just a standard 4 horsewomen, for instance, or did you go with like
I did put that down. I did put that down as an idea. The 4 horsewomen, just because it was just easy to. It's just like it screams out to you. But I'll go with some.
Not that easy. They've never done it.
Yeah, true. But I'll go with some more interesting ones. I had Team Glamazon. So naturally, Beth Phoenix isn't on it. No, of course she is. Beth Phoenix is on it, and I combined her with Chyna, Bianca Belair, and Raquel Gonzalez. All big, kind of like the big, oversized, like women, like powerhouses, that type of.
But also have an aura of sex appeal to them.
Yeah, to a degree. And there was that. I went Team Knockout. Thought, there are plenty of women here that have been in TNA at some point or another, so we could get a whole team of that. So I went with that one. I went Gail Kim, Mia Yim, Karma, and Victoria.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's also, you could do Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and kind of build something around like
I actually have that
like
as well.
MMA type thing.
I have a team. It's called just working title so far. Team Tough Bitches. Which
Team
is
Tough Bitches. So I like it.
Yeah, which is Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Jazz, and Rhea Ripley. And obviously there are other people that can fit into that as well. I'll just go through other ideas. I had Team Joshi, of course. Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, and Bull Nakano.
What do you mean Trish Stratus isn't on it?
Team Diva. Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, Alexa Bliss, and Michelle McCool.
Yeah.
I thought the biggest.
I'd stretch Trish to that list.
Well, I put Trish in her own team, their team of called Team Besties, which is Trish and Lita and AJ and Paige.
Ah.
All right.
Just 2 combinations of best friends. Then the one that I like the most in terms of like just the naming of it, I have Team Heart and Soul, which is Natalya, Mickie James, Molly Holly, and Candice LeRae.
Yeah, I watched that too.
Natalya's obviously the heart, like Mickie James talks about like having a lot of heart and like the country heart and stuff like that. Molly Holly, like everyone says she's a saint, so she'd fit into that. And Candice LeRae is like an ultimate babyface until she obviously turned heel recently, but it's like, but she's better characterized as a babyface. So I just thought, that's quite a good combination. And then I was just left with, after putting those teams together, I was just left with Alundra Blaze, Naomi, Dakota Kai, and Toni Storm, and I couldn't think of any way of putting them all together.
All right, so like let's start off with some sort of a jumping point. Whether we go with teams of 5 or 4 or a combination of them could kind of depend on this. I think for sure, obviously, we need Brie and Nikki Bella are going to be on the same team, so they might as well just be paired off on the side. We know that they're going to be 2 of 4 or 2 of 5. There's no way I think there's any justification to splitting them.
Unless you just stick Brie Bella on the outside because you decide that Nikki is the better worker.
Yeah, if she ends up being like the one that doesn't, make the list or, whatever it might be.
If you want to do like a team of 5 of them, you could do something that's Total Divas related.
I think the less Total Divas, the better.
Yeah, I want something good, Cal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it'd be them paired with like Paige, Natalia, and Alexa Bliss, probably, or something.
So I really like the idea of the Joshi team and trying to go with as much theme stuff as we possibly can to knock out the themes, and then to go with the more, let's try to take the people that are left and make a theme out of it. I'm just sort of putting a couple of people off to the side. I think we kind of have to do the 4 horsewomen, right?
Yeah, but that makes who you pair them up against very important.
So I'm not, these aren't paired off for matches yet, for anybody who's wondering. I'm just going to put them in, like, columns, sort of, with each other. For anybody who's watching the other thing, I'm just moving things around for the audio side of things. Where's Sasha? Sasha's alphabetical order. That makes more sense. If we did do teams of 5, we're in a weird spot where we would need a 5th 4 horsewomen, and I don't think that makes any sense. Really, if we were going to add a 5th one, the only thing that would make sense to me would probably be Paige, because she was around that era, but I still like the idea of just going with 4. You guys agree?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
That's like a 4-person team.
All right, so we got those 4. We've got the Bella Twins together. We've got the Kabuki Sky Pirate Warriors together. Were there any other like almost definitive? Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are definitely on the same team. Possibly Trish and Lita on the same team. You think
they could always captain opposite sides, but also Ronda and Shayna could captain opposite sides.
I think Lita and Trish on opposite sides would work more so than Ronda and Shayna. Because Lita could be a part of like I don't know what you would call it, but like the team like, alternative chick kind of thing. Like,
yeah, where you pair her with like Candice.
It would be like Lita and Rhea and Paige.
And AJ maybe. Or
AJ or, yeah.
I like Candice a little bit more though, because Candice can do a lot of great moves. So
with some of these in mind, where should we go next? Let's see. I'm liking the heart and soul idea where Natty's got her own team. Because Natty's paired with anybody is just going to seem like she's thrown on the team. And I don't look at any of these and think, okay, well, there's like a legacy type thing that you could go with. There's not any other 2nd generation people or 3rd generation or anything left. Right? Yeah, no.
No, not
Raquel.
Really, yeah.
That's
Raquel
it.
was technically 2nd
Raquel
generation.
kind of.
But then that's it. So, unless you did like Raquel, Natalia, Charlotte. Well, even then, that's only 3. Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of putting, even though obviously I didn't include them in the same team in my list, the idea of putting Natalia and Alundra Blaze on the same team. They're just something that seems to fit.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a vibe there that's like from one generation to the next and best overall worker kind of thing.
And kind of like the whole, like, there's like fire in your heart, like that kind of thing. Maybe put them off to the side like that.
I know we've said this in the past, but we put more effort into pairing people in like 2 minutes than it seems like they do on television in 6 months.
That is very true. Who was
Yeah,
it that
Gail
you had
Kim.
on the Gail Kim and Karma team? Who was that again?
It was the two of the other TNA ones. Obviously, there's more that you could have chosen from, but it was Mia Yim and who was the other one?
Jazz?
Victoria.
No, Victoria. Yeah,
Victoria, the Tara when she was that.
Yeah. But obviously, you could put Mickey Jones on that.
Yeah,
team
Mickey
as well.
can also go on that team. I know it seems like I'm the only person rooting for her in this world, but Deanna could also be on Team Knockout, huh?
She's not
She's
on
not
our
on the list.
our list.
Did we really? Oh, that's a shame.
They're the only TNA related ones, well, the ones directly that work for TNA. So you could have a 5-person team with that one if you wanted to, but.
So where was Bull Nakano? Was she on the team with like China and them? Was that what?
She was on the Joshi team.
Oh shit!
She's
Yeah, the
Japanese.
Joshi team. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I like that. I like that idea of like almost locking in that Joshi team. That, again, these aren't necessarily against each other, but that team and the 4 Horsewomen team, teams of 4 like that. I think that makes a lot of sense.
What are you thinking about the like the Glamazon style team?
The powerful type of the powerhouse team.
Yeah, I think like it kind of fits for some people like Beth and China and Raquel and I mean Bianca's the more of the odd one out because she's more of like she's obviously got incredible power, but you could put Jazz on that team if you wanted to instead, or Michelle's quite tall, so if you wanted to put her in there as well. Rhea Ripley, of course, could fit into that team as well. So I think those 3, the Beth, Raquel, and China, are definite locks because they're just significantly taller and more well-built than pretty much any other woman on this list.
I kind of like the idea of Jazz being on the Ronda and Shayna team more.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Rob?
Well, I would say that she definitely strikes me as somebody who would fit with the scrappier type. So yeah, because Team Glamazon, I think Bianca, even though she's not built like an Amazonian heel, it totally works because she has that strength.
And she's like more of the glam part with that because she's, of course, like she's got the glittery outfits and the little kissy face gear and everything, but she's consistently.
But she can also lift Otis and
right, yeah, like so she's never booked as just based off of her looks. It's based off of her power even more so than her looks, yeah. And Raquel, I mean, she comes out and she's like, "Look at my back muscles," like the way that is. The only thing I could see switching them up for is if we had a powerhouse on other teams where it would be like this is not the idea that I would go with. So, don't put stock in this, but like if we had like Bianca Belair on the team with like the Bella twins so that there's power on that team or something, you know what I mean? It's not like Team Bella Air or something like that. That's way too bad.
But you put a little bit of thought into that, didn't you?
I put more thought into that than the people that are firing people, yeah. I put more thought into that than the heel and face turns that we've been getting lately, where they're just kind of like, those two, opposite, now. Why? Because.
Is there scope for like a definitive like NXT women's team?
If there would be,
I know you technically have the 4 Horsemen in there as well, but they're ones that have gone on to thrive on the main roster as well. But to put a team together of the likes of like Candice and Dakota and Tony.
I'm
just struggling to picture where they would go otherwise.
Yeah, like who are the oddballs here? So like, if we wanted to have like team alt rocker sort of whatever chick, we've got AJ, we got Lita, we've got Rhea. And we've got Paige. So that's a possibility. I mean, Toni Storm, to a certain extent, could go into that team.
She's the wild child of the 80s. What do you mean? She could absolutely fit on there.
Yeah, she could fit into that.
I'd
say Brie and Nikki, Alexa's in the same sort of vein as they are.
I would think Michelle McCool would be in the Bella thing. That diva sort of era. The thing with Alexis, you could go with that side, or you could go with the creepy character thing. But I don't think we've got enough to pull a creepy character group, right? It would be like Alexa, Karma. I guess that's it, right?
And the only ones that have really done some sort of like a monster style character, yeah.
Like, because like Volcano is not really, and then that takes her off of the Joshi thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, Alexa's more of like that popular bitch kind of thing. You got popular bitches and tough bitches. There's the teams.
That's the match right there.
I'm looking at Natalia and Lunge Blaze. Molly Holly fits into that team.
I like that idea. And I was thinking maybe Candace in that one, actually.
It does kind of work, yeah.
Because that's like the heart and soul. Like they're all like smiley, baby face type things. I mean, Natty's been a heel here and there, but like even when Natty's a heel, she tends to just sort of be like, "Yeah, I'm a heel for the sake of it," but also, don't you like my cats and shit? You know, like. And then that would leave. I mean, there's this team of the 5 thing, so we'd have to move some of these people around or something. But what could we do with some of these if we we cool with locking in Team Powerhouse or whatever it is?
I like the Glamazon. The Glamazon stuff.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, there's something to be said about putting Trish and Mickey on the same team.
That's true.
I know, obviously, they were more known as rivals and stuff like that, but they've demonstrated since then it's more mutual respect, and they're obviously connected through that stuff.
And
they definitely have history.
You could do like Trish, Mickey, Lita, and someone, and then put Tony Storm on that rocker chick team.
Yeah,
because there's 5 on there. But then who would the 4th be for the Trish, Lita, and Mickey one?
The one that would make the most sense is probably Victoria. But then again, obviously, that takes away from the knockout style team that you want to put together.
Then you would, Then
the only other choice would be Molly Holly, but you could put Molly Holly in that team to be like kind of like some of the top names of the Ruthless Aggression era together, and then you could probably get away with putting either Dakota Kai or Naomi on that Natalia team.
Let's see here. If we had these over here, and then we moved this here.
Well,
then we're missing a tough one for that team.
Well, I'd switch Victoria on that team. I'd switch her for Molly Holly.
Oh, that's right, the Molly Holly thing.
And keep Victoria on the knockout team. So I do like the idea of having a team knockout because like TNA was doing some of the best women's wrestling at that time anyway. So
then Naomi would make more sense, I think, on the Natalia team than Dakota.
See, there is like scope to put Dakota on the tough bitch team because even though it's kind of not been her character, she is
like, Team Kick.
Yeah, and she's now doing this split personality character, and on NXT, and also she's linked to Shayna Baszler pretty closely throughout the career. The difference would be if like you wanted to put Dakota Kai maybe on the alternative team and put Rhea Ripley on that side instead. Like AJ Page, Tony, and Dakota, I could kind of see that. It's not like the best fit altogether, but
they're without a heavy in that case. But
it's true.
Definitely, like aesthetically, you can see it.
I could see Dakota more on the Rousey team with the leader of Team Kick kind of thing. I think
that could work. I mean, she has been a heel for a long time now as well, so it'd probably fit. So yeah, I think those would be 9 teams then.
So then, if that's
obviously the fact that if we have 9 teams, it means that one team doesn't make it on the card,
or that we make it a triple threat.
Oh, we're not doing that.
It'd be weird, but I mean, we could technically do that if we wanted to. It is fantasy complete nonsense that we're doing.
Hey, listen, I did that on my card. We're not doing that twice.
Well, the first match that really sticks out to me is the 4 Horsewomen versus the team led by Trish and Lita.
I think that makes the most sense. Yeah,
absolutely.
So let's see. We're gonna go with team names on here. This makes the most sense for me to do it this way. 4 Horsewomen. Horsewomen. What are we gonna name this team?
I don't want to call it Team Diva because again, that's not their thing. The team next to them is probably more Team Diva, but
yeah, it's got to be Team Diva.
I don't want to call it Team Ruthless Aggression because that's too wordy.
And we might need, if we want to be cheeky about things, we might change like Team Diva to like some kind of more gimmicky name or something like that.
Except for Mickey James, you can almost go out saying Team Attitude.
These are just temporary names or something like that. Alt, Amazons, Joshi. I do like Heart and Soul. I think we should kind of just even keep that.
Get the E out of the word heart, please.
Yeah, that's the way I spell it. The way I spell it is with one eye.
Yeah, just a brain fart.
Yeah. I'm almost thinking like it's Team Trish really because Trish is the
linchpin between all of them.
Well, the linchpin shouldn't that be the Four Horsemen team?
Jesus Christ!
The linchpins.
Actually, a finisher. The linchpin.
What is that? Like Becky Lynch having a bowling team?
Yeah, exactly. Like the pin pals.
If you call it like Team Stratisfaction or something.
Yeah, well,
like a bit more character.
Stratus action. You can call him Trash Stratus if you want to go with the Rob's. Rob,
that sounds like someone like just some incel on Twitter. Oh
yeah,
Trash Stratus.
That's why I felt so bad.
Oh.
All right, so we got Stratisfaction against the Horsewomen.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we've got this team of powerhouses and this team of powerhouses. Do we want to go with like
no
that kind of thing?
You put the powerhouses against the you put the Glamazons against the Joshi. You put the Diva against the alternative girls, and then I think
Divas against alternatives makes most sense.
I think the team honestly that gets left out is I'd leave out TNA because I put the tough team against Heart and Soul.
Yeah, the tough team should be like bullies, and so put in some, not necessarily underdogs, but like more of like the people that are more natural baby faces, like Natalya, Underblaze, Candice LeRae, Naomi. Makes sense to put them there.
And if you wanted to, hear me out. Do we swap Dakota out, put Karma in, and then put Gail Kim on the Heart and Soul side instead of Naomi, and then you've got an even better match?
Let's see. Well, let's see. We're almost definitely not going to do Joshi against Tough Team, right?
No, we're doing
doing
against Heart and Soul.
Yeah,
Glamazons against Joshi. Yeah.
I'm trying to look at this, see what I would do.
Because we could try to make one of these a team of 5 and get 2 more of these women in there, and then take another one and make a team of 5 and do that. That would be
it would be a case of like making 2 teams of 5,
right?
Nowadays,
I mean, like I'm not necessarily sold that like Dakota needs to be on the card.
Well, let's see if we could add another one to these other types of teams. Where does Karma fit in? She would have to be.
She's on Team Tough.
Or Glamazon.
She'd have to be the tough team or Glamazon, I think, more so than the Joshi.
Just because like she obviously made her name in Japan, so.
Right.
I would think more tough team than the Glamazon one. No, because
like it makes more sense to me. Her body proportion makes more sense to be a Glamazon. Because like the tough team is ones that are actual fighters, whereas Karma's not.
But the problem is we don't have a Joshi. But we put Belair on Team Heart and Soul.
I would think that someone like either Gail Kim or me would make better sense on that side.
Yeah, but we don't have a 5th Joshi.
Well, I meant on Team Heart and Soul, but we could put.
Well, Victoria's the easiest one, I think. If we put her anywhere, we could put her on the tough team, we could put her on the alt team, or we could put her on the Stratisfaction team.
But then you're ruining the worst one.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, then we could move maybe even that team doesn't face that team, and we whatever. But like, she's got 3 options, so we more than likely can put her somewhere. I think she'd fit more so on the alt team. What about you guys?
Well, yeah, but I don't know which one of these ones would fit in team. I mean, if we
Diva.
were to do that, then I would say put Victoria on team alt. I'd say then you put Naomi on team Diva,
I could see that.
and then you would choose one of either Gail Kim or Mia Yim and put them on the Heart and Soul team.
Oops, I don't want to get rid of Tony Storm. If we did do that, so then it's Naomi or Naomi on there, and then it would be
And then
Soul.
I don't know, man. I still think you put Gail Kim on Heart and Soul, and Karma should go on the tough team, and then unfortunately you leave Mia and Dakota hanging.
No, then you just put Karma on team tough team, and you put both Gail Kim and Mia Yim on Heart and Soul.
Okay.
And that's 5 on 5.
Yeah, I guess because we have 2 4 and 4, 2 5 on 5. I can live with that.
Gail Kim and Mia Yim are on Heart and Soul.
Gotta have symmetry.
If we put Karma on tough team, we did this on here.
That works.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
it almost makes more thematic sense to have Gail Kim on opposite sides to Karma.
Absolutely.
That's true. Yeah. And she could be more of like obviously like the, straight-laced baby face kind of deal.
Because then I think if we're looking at individual matchups, like if we're doing old school Survivor Series where it's like we're just taking feuds and meshing them into a tag match, Ronda is feuding with probably Blazed.
Yeah.
Shannon can feud with Natalia. Jazz can feud with Mia.
Mia for sure.
Karma, Gail Kim, and then Dakota.
Candice and Dakota.
Candice.
And then you got the Bella Twins there against probably like AJ and
Peyton
Paige.
Edge.
Yeah, AJ and Paige. Yeah.
And then you got like Michelle McCool, I would assume, against like Rhea, Alexa Bliss against Victoria, Naomi against Tony Storm.
And not only have we booked tag team matches, but we have booked fake feuds to go along with them.
We did that and intros and some plugs and everything in 32 minutes just to go to show you how friggin' easy some of this shit is, where it makes so much more sense than what we've got going on with like War Games this year, where they're just sort of like, I don't fucking know, whatever, that kind of deal. And we managed to do it in a way where we had 9 teams of 4 or 7.2 teams of 5, and we used every single person.
And did we use every woman? Yeah,
we used every single one.
Look at us. Look at us.
Yeah, quick and efficient, job done for that part at the very least. So I'm going to move them off to the side so that I don't accidentally get rid of them. I don't do all that work for nothing. And now we got to start working on the men's side. Which that's going to be harder. Well, certain people we know we're probably going to team up that are tag teams, right? So I guess let's start moving them along. We've got Robert Gibson off on the side here. And let's start another tag team thing. Chad Gable is most likely going to be on a tag team. Let's see, Roderick Strong. He'll be on the Undisputed Era most likely. We got the Road Warriors together. We've got...
Just go ahead and group DX. Like, all 5 of them.
Matt Hardy, because we'll end up putting Jeff Hardy on there. Before I forget about it, I'll just put Jeff Hardy.
Dudley's put together.
Yeah.
Devon Dudley. What's up with you, Jeff? Why are you going in the wrong spot? Let's see. Adam Cole, baby. Where's good old Robert Fish? I do like that Tail Machine Dream Team thing where I had the Team Bob. And it was what, Bobby Fish, Robert Roode, Bobby Lashley, and Robert Strong. Or something like.
What's wrong with you? Like,
nothing's wrong with me. Steiner. Where's Scott Steiner on here? There's Scott. Whereas what's his face says in Ant-Man, Scott. We don't have the rest of the Undisputed Era, right? We just have... I mean, that's the Undisputed Era. Imperium. We just have Walter?
You were just that Walter, yeah.
Okay. New Day.
Yeah.
We'll end up being together. So, Big E. Kofi Kingston. Where's Kofi? Kof. There's Kof. Let's go with Kyle O'Reilly over here. Finish that group up. We do have the Wyatt family.
Yep.
That we will mostly put together. We don't have to, but obviously
we could.
We just with the other stuff, it's an option. At least if we have like a visual where you can look at that kind of stuff, then we'll be able to go. Do we want to keep them or do we want to mix them up a little bit? Same thing with the Hearts. Group them together. Where is Owen and Jim the Anvil Neidhart? Yeah, fucking right now.
Yeah.
We got Ron Simmons and JBL, who could be a team. We do have Jason Jordan.
You're missing Dash Wilder for Scott Dawson.
Where is Dash Wilder? Right here. Yep, there we go. For the old FTR. Morton, forgot to bring him over here. DX. Who's going to kick your ass? D-Generation X. Badass Billy Gunn gets in the mix here. Triple H. And Shawn Magles. So we don't have Cedric, right? No, we don't. So we're not going to do the Hurt Business.
No.
But should we incorporate Shelton Benjamin potentially in with the Chad Gable, Jason Jordan thing, or do you want to just save that for another potential?
We can wait for a little bit on that.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm just looking at it once.
The Shield.
Yeah, got the Shield. Roman
Reigns. Dean Ambrose is up here.
Got the Street Profits.
Bubba Ray Dudley. Where's Devon? Street Profits. Yep. Montez. There's Montez Ford. I'm not going to pair off RK Bro just because that's not as strong enough.
Got the Four Horsemen. We've got 3 members of the Four Horsemen anyway. We've got Flair, Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard.
There's Arn. There's
I still can't believe we didn't just make sure that Barry was drafted.
You should have fought harder.
I tried, man.
I mean, it's odd as well because we've got Evolution as well.
There's Tully.
If we wanted to go that route instead, but then again, that would be copying people over.
We've got the Rhodes.
Yeah, and Dusty as well. If you wanted to put that in there.
Gold Dust. And
make sure you add Braun and Eric to the Wright family.
Roman. Where's Wright family? There we go. And Eric Rowan. I still think it's so weird that they had Eric Rowan and Raymond Rowe, and they called him Eric.
Eric,
I was just like, God, that's got to be confusing.
You got the Usos.
We've also got. I'm just going to pair them
well,
temporarily.
We're Samoans, aren't we?
Temporarily going to put them on here because of the click, because we might make like some super click sort of deal, like the
super click party.
Yeah, super click party. Diesel.
Yeah.
Actually, we know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them here. Just a little bit, because I'm going to put Hogan as well above them. Hulk Hogan, because we might do NWO instead. I'm going to consolidate this list a little bit, make that a little bit easier. Sort range.
Right, because when you do the NWO, there's always like
a million people that you could potentially put on
Macho Man and everybody else, because everybody got put in the NWO.
And then, missing anybody that's on this?
Usos.
Where are the Usos on here? Jimmy J. And, I mean, there's Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah. There's Owens and Zayn.
Oh, Owens and Zayn. Yeah, I forgot about that. Kevin Owens. God, so many of these people have been fired, and they should.
There's the Bar as well, if you want to see that as well.
Zayn. I do kind of like the idea of the bar possibly. I kind of like the idea, and jumping ahead a little bit, I kind of like the idea of making a whole group based off of the bar. Because I always thought that had potential to get some other people in there too. I thought Cassius Ohno should have been a part of that.
I've got an idea for those two, based on some of the ideas I put together earlier, but we can talk about that.
We don't set the bar. We are the bar.
We are the bar. He always says that the thing on there.
That's a great slogan.
I can tell you one team that I'm not going to be signing off on. It's going to be Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, and somebody. I don't think that.
What, you don't want Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, and the APA? Just be like a new ministry.
Really, that seems like it's right up your alley, too.
Yeah, I'm not so big on that. All right, so then here's a couple different groups worth of people.
There's quite a lot of like connections. Then they've got all these guys that can kind of just be fold in between people.
We do have the potential of the evolution thing with their. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to move them over and be the underlings under that. Randy Orton, so that I don't forget about it. Okay. So some house cleaning out of the way. Now where do we start?
Okay.
Well, we got to build a team around Andre, I think.
Well, yeah.
So we don't get a new ministry, but we do get the big men going to the buffet. Is that what we're doing?
Well, I'm not saying I don't think we necessarily need to make it teams of giants.
Oh,
but I think that he could play as a team of giants, or he could play as the giant on a team, like the whole Heenan family type of concept. You know,
we could do Heenan family.
Like somebody could be like hiring him. Like a Ted DiBiase could like hire an Andre to be on his team to be like the anchor or something.
To buy him the WWE Championship.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did do that.
So I'm gonna put Andre just separate, just as like, okay, we'll probably put a couple people in there. I do think teams of 5, teams of 4 kind of combo probably does work better.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, we do have the Undisputed Era. I don't think we're adding a 5th.
No.
So that's a team that's in like that side of things. I don't know why I added 2 sides.
I think we should run with the Heart Foundation as well as a team of 5.
I like that. Yeah, you might as well keep them together. If not, who's Pillman going to be on a team with? We could technically put him on like with Stone Cold and make some kind of like, Stunning Steve and whatever type of thing or something.
You put Brian Pillman, Steve Austin, and Billy Gunn on the same team.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's a team of 5, a team of 4, a team of.
I think the White family makes fit as well, because realistically, where Luke Harper and Eric Rowan going to go,
right?
Team Wyatt,
they're not going to be on some other kind of team. I highly doubt.
The only thing we could add to that is put Randy Orton on the team.
Yeah, awful. No, not a fan of that. Someone got messed up there. There we go. I will move them over here. Okay. I think we should save the DX and NWO whatever discussion until we start figuring out more of the other teams to see where it might naturally fall.
Yeah, I got plenty of suggestions of mine.
Yeah, what are some of these that you had thought about ahead of time?
So the one that I'm immediately going to is the European Union team. Obviously,
there you go. Kind of a variation of the Foreign Fanatics.
Well, it's a natural inclination, but it's people that are specifically from like that sort of like European enclave people. So the team that I put together from that, obviously there's loads of people on this list. There's probably at least a dozen people that could fit into it. But the ones that drew my eye were, you'd make William Regal the captain, obviously. And then it'd be Cesaro, Sheamus, Walter, and Drew McIntyre.
I wouldn't want to fuck with that team.
Yeah, goddamn. That is a fucking team for sure.
I just thought, yeah, it's obviously the European side of things as well, but obviously they're just 5 really tough guys as well. Because I thought, obviously, you could put Pete Dunne on that, you could put Finn Balor or Neville, but they didn't really seem to fit the same as those 5 did, putting them together.
My suggestion for that maybe would be Regal might fit on another team if we've got another person who could fit in there.
What are you thinking of Regal?
Because the only thing I was thinking about with Lawler was a team of like kings.
Yeah, that's what. See, I have a.
And it could be like Harley Race, Lawler,
Booker T.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Booker T. And we're not locking him in necessarily yet.
Yeah.
And then I thought Regal as a potential on that team.
This would have been a great spot for Mabel.
Because I can't see Macho King being on that team.
Well, it's one of the weirdest things. Like, I was going through all of these ones here, and I found like different combinations for different people. I couldn't find anything to put Randy Savage in.
NWO.
It doesn't. That feels like it's just such a waste to put Randy Savage in the NWO team. And
Savage might be a difficult.
He doesn't play nice with people.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm not putting him on the team with Hulk Hogan because that'd be just disrespectful to his memory.
Okay, so I'm bouncing around here. This is like an ADHD kind of a thing, but just for the sake of this, what about this as a potential, at least starting point? Aleister Black being on a team with Undertaker and Kane.
I do have that kind of combination there. The ones I put together for that one was Undertaker, Kane, Bradshaw, Farouk, and Aleister Black were the ones I put together for that.
What about Balor? Demon Balor.
You could have Demon Balor in that.
And then Sting?
Sting could fit in that.
No.
It's Crow Sting.
Crow Sting could.
Well,
Sting could also
why
be.
Not thinking Sting?
Sting could also be on the opposite team in like a WCW kind of capacity, maybe.
I don't know. I just feel like, pairing Sting with all these guys just because he's kind of there with the paint, it doesn't sit right.
Well, I think there's like the scope for like a team WCW where it's Booker T, Goldberg, Sting, Jeff Jarrett, and Dusty Rhodes or something. Obviously, you could put Ric Flair on that as well, but
do we have a team that we can build around Rick Rude of like I look so great?
Well, Dolph would fit in that probably.
Dolph definitely would be on that team.
I think that you could probably, if you went with Edge and Christian as a tag team,
on the Rude and Ziggler thing,
I think that would fit, wouldn't they? When they would like Team ENC, that would kind of fit their mold, wouldn't it?
I don't see it.
I couldn't. I know where you're going, but I couldn't.
Just for the sake of another potential thing, we got Yokozuna, we got The Rock, we got Umaga.
Yeah,
I had Samoan.
I had Team Samoan Dynasty. I had The Rock, Roman, Jimmy J, and Umaga.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think you need a Shield team in this.
I don't think that the Shield team, because you would need a fourth or a fifth.
Or you need the tag team, and it just doesn't. Like, hang on, let's put Kurt Angle in that team. That works, right? He's one of the best ones. I think Roman works better in the team with The Rock. No, Tribal Chief Roman is better than Shield Roman.
But I wouldn't even put The Rock in there. I'd make Roman the captain of that. I'd put Yoko in there instead of The Rock.
Well, what team would you put Rock on? Like, that's like what team could he lead then? Because you can't do a nation thing here.
I'd assume he'd end up like that's where you get like the super groups where we were kind of talking about maybe putting Trish and Lita on the same side or opposite sides. That's when you get like
I don't want Rock and Austin on the same team.
Or you put them on opposite sides and then work from there.
I don't think that there's almost any way we could have Rock and Austin on the same team. They just wouldn't get along, and it's too powerful, like the star power thing. Unless you made, just for the sake of it, Hogan, Rock, Austin, Cena.
Yeah, like team.
Just team. Fuck everybody. This is the team that is clearly not a single one of them is going to get eliminated.
Wins. Yeah,
right.
No jobs. Like just.
If we did a fifth person on that team, who would it be?
Michael's
Andre.
Or Andre, yeah.
Andre could be. And that could be kind of fun to do, the team of just... there's no
Triple H, actually. Triple H would probably fit in that. Or Flair.
Well, just for the sake of it, I'll group these all together. Samoa Joe, not in that, because he's not a part of that. So if anybody's wondering why, he's not on the
Samoa
same
Joe immediately made me think the Team TNA.
I do think that we could do a couple things with Joe in and of himself. Either like a submission team or a TNA team.
would be Joe and Styles would be obviously the main people in the TNA too. You put Jarrett on that as well if you wanted to go with him in that route.
Jarrett would definitely have to be on that team. And then if there's other TNA people, who would other TNA people
Well, Kurt
be?
Angle technically fits in a Team TNA. But I'd have different ideas for Kurt Angle.
I think Kurt Angle could be on a Gable, Jordan, like Team Angle kind of thing. And
well, that's what I was thinking.
Sheldon.
I had Team Angle. I had Kurt, Jordan, Gable, Benjamin, and Backlund.
Ooh, Backlund. I didn't think about Backlund.
Yeah, he managed Kurt Angle for a while, and obviously he kind of fits into that mold as well.
You know what? The only other thing I could think of with Backlund would be if he did like the old school, like Backlund
Or
and
like
Bruno.
Sammartino and stuff like that, yeah.
If we put Backlund on that team,
Well, Sammartino would be the other member of that team if you would do like Rock,
that would be
Austin.
6 people then.
No, but I mean like he'd be the other member of that Rock, Austin, Hogan,
That
Cena.
would, yeah,
and then it'd be Bruno would be the 5th member of that team.
it's true.
But,
What else could we do with Bruno? If we had, because it's either that team, which I think
I'd rather not do that.
I'd rather not do the team just because of how powerful it is. It's like,
I
then
think it
again,
should be
what
a
do we do
team
with
of.
Cena and stuff too? Yeah.
I think Bruno and Cena could be in the same sort of team. I think it would be a team of like the kind of like ultimate baby faces type thing.
What do you think? What do you think about this potential team? You got Punk, Austin, Ambrose, Piper, and I don't know if there would be a 5th.
So you kind of think of like these kind of like loudmouth, unhinged kind of
Yeah.
people.
Like rebels.
Rebels. It would be a rebel.
Oh, we got to have Foley and Funk on the team.
Yeah, Foley and Punk would go well together. Yeah, they have to be like a Team Extreme type thing. I mean, if you do a Team Extreme with those sort of things, there'd be those two, Rob Van Dam. Could be an ECW kind of
Well,
thing.
if you're doing like a rebel thing, I'd do Foley and Funk, Ambrose, maybe
I would think
Austin, even though like
I would think more so just hardcore with these, not rebel type things. These are the rebels.
Well, yeah, I'd say RBD would fit into a hardcore team with Foley and Funk. He's like Mr. ECW. If we're looking for a rebel character, I'd say the one that fits best with that is actually, because I know we've got Team Kings there, but Harley Race would fit into that too.
The Austin team?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah, because you never saw NWA.
well, yeah, you're thinking solely about like
When he was in his like late 40s and
Yeah,
like
you're
running
thinking
around the
like-
ring and with a crown on. Because no one else really fits that kind of rebel dynamic unless you would put like Razor Ramon maybe.
Here's I know we're bouncing all over the place. I'm sure this is driving some people nuts, but here's another thing that just came out of my mind. What if we had like the team ultimate babyface? We had Ray and Ricky on a team.
But yeah, I thought Ray and Ricky should go together.
well, if you're doing an ultimate babyface, I'd put the Rock and Roll Express on that team.
Well, yeah, that's actually I had like an ultimate babyface team of. I didn't actually put Ray in it, but I put an ultimate babyface team of Shawn Michaels, Daniel Bryan, Ricky Steamboat, and the Rock and Roll Express.
Or what about John Cena being on the ultimate babyface team?
I just don't think he fits in because he's not an ultimate babyface. He's the New York Yankees.
He's a franchise. Like
Yeah, these guys have to be things that you kind of are real underdogs, and Cena's not an underdog.
Jeff Hardy would fit on an ultimate babyface team.
Yeah, it'd have to be someone of that kind of stature. Cena's just too big to be on that team.
Should we have Rock and Roll Express on the same team with FTR?
No, because you
No,
put
they're the
FTR on the
opposite
same
teams.
team as Anderson and Tully.
Would that be opposite teams, do you think? Against each other?
They're like
Against each other in the
yeah, it would be Rock and Roll versus the rival. Yeah, they would be on opposite sides. They wouldn't be on the same team.
I'm surprised they haven't just done that match already. But yeah, they have to.
You could go Dean Malenko on the Horsemen.
You could.
You could.
Possibility. I don't know where else we would necessarily put Malenko.
We could do something with him and Eddie.
And Eddie, and we don't have the other ones, right? Yeah.
No, because
We don't have Saturn, we don't have Benoit, that kind of deal.
I think Keithley. I'm thinking that Keithley and Matt Riddle should be somewhat aligned. You could do like an NXT sort of themed one. And I do kind of like the idea of putting Lesnar and Lashley on the same team as well.
You wouldn't put them on opposites?
No, they're two. I think they. If you're going,
Boy,
with that
they're
sort of,
never getting that match. Just ever.
I got like actually like a team that I put together called a B Squad.
Oh wait, let me guess. Is it those two?
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
No.
Oh, okay.
Bam Bam, Big Show, Bobby, and Brock.
Bam Bam's on it.
I guess it's all the bees.
Oh yeah,
I put. Actually, there are 4 Bs on this team, but it would be Brock, Bobby Lashley, Bam Bam, Bruno, and Goldberg.
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 So we got a couple that are all over the place, but
yeah.
I guess let's try to figure out maybe we would put some of these teams that are just like the duos. Maybe we can kind of sort a little bit based off of that.
That's quite interesting. What do you do with the New Day?
Ooh, yeah, because the New Day's they're definitely a trio.
Yeah,
so
but
they
you
need
to put 2 people with them.
They need a tag team to go with them.
Yeah, they need to be a team of 5.
To make a team of 5. Maybe the Street Profits? Because they've had some good reactions.
I partly put that, but then there is the part of me that thinks, oh wow, we just grouped 5 black guys together.
Yeah, you're just grouping the 5 happy black guys together. It's weird.
But they do have good camaraderie with each other. Like
they
did trade the tag titles, and they've never really feuded. They've only been like supportive of each other.
No,
if any team was going to be like the same sort of synergy, I would think it would be them.
Well, I was thinking those 2 and Edge and Christian.
That's another possibility.
Because they're just like the comedy. I know obviously they're there's the combination of the fact that they're probably the 2 most winningest tag teams in history to the title reigns. Like, I'm sure Edge and Christian are way up there.
Is there another means for it? Christian's going to be on the same team as Edge. We know that.
Yeah.
There's
absolutely.
like almost no way that Christian's going to be on a separate team. So we got to pair those 2 up.
I mean,
and I don't know anywhere that I would put Edge outside of a scenario that's sort of like that. Because like I don't think Edge teaming back up with Orton and having Christian on there and doing something based off of that, I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense.
Well, I had this another like dumb name that I put together, Team Mother Canuckers.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And it was Edge, Christian, Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn.
That's amazing. Please, like, let's just do that. Like,
I kind of like it, but yeah, I don't
they
know.
don't have fun with this shit.
I mean, part of me wants to see, like, when I did when I put like Team quote unquote New Day together, the 2 people that I paired them with were Keithley and Matt Riddle. Because Keithley's kind of like, you could have the powerhouse in that team, and Matt Riddle's a goofball, and I think he'd really revel in the fact that he's the one white guy in the team of black guys. He's like that Christian, like that whole that is one of my favorite ever Survivor Series moments. It's like that whole Christian rap that he does with Mark Henry and Kofi Kingston and MVP. And
you know what would be kind of funny is seeing like you've got a team of 5, right? And you got on the 2 sides, you got Keithley and Big E as like these monster supporting anchor types. And then next to them, you've got Kofi and Xavier Woods. And then the direct center, you've got Matt Riddle just looking on the side and doing the thing that Christian did, where he's all like, all right, guys, like, you know, I forget exactly what he had said, but he said something about like that he was the only white guy on that team that year.
Well, yeah,
Kofi Kingston looking for a fight. 4 of us are black and 1 of us is white. And it's like, oh god, it's so good.
I liked that pairing. I just think that like Matt Riddle is just the perfect goofball to put as that. And I couldn't think of anywhere else to really put him because I mean you could do like an MMA style team with him and Lashley and Lesnar, but he's more of a goofball character now.
Yeah, I like goofball Riddle more so than serious Riddle for sure.
I don't even remember serious Riddle anymore.
If we did have Lee, Riddle, and the New Day together, where do you think we'd put the Street Profits? Who could they potentially pair up with?
I was thinking Let's have a look. What have I kind of done with my groups? I was thinking that they could be in some sort of money theme team. And it seems like odd because Ted DiBiase is like a heel and these two have only been baby faces throughout their career.
I can't see them with Ted. Because Ted's got to be a heel team. For sure. Yeah.
I was thinking like if you were to do some sort of money team with the movie, then Street Profits and JBL.
I could see JBL being on Team Ted DiBiase and Ron.
But I don't think there's any other money themed ones.
Yeah, because we don't have somebody like a Del Rio, thankfully, on this. Well, here's another thing. Should we put Big Show and Andre on the same team?
Yes.
Or should we have them on opposite teams?
I don't think that you can get it. It would basically be two different teams of giants. Otherwise, I just don't feel like. I don't think there's like anybody that can really thematically join them outside of the fact that they're just both big. And you put those two, and then you add like 3 other big guys. You basically just make a gimmick about the fact that this is like the biggest Survivor Series team in history.
Yeah.
So you just add those two, and then you add Vader, Yokozuna, and Bam Bam.
Please reinforce the ring.
Yeah.
A lot of beef in the ring.
It'd be so cool about the idea that one ring is like leaning one side to the ring is leaning from one side.
I like that idea. Well, maybe we'll hold off on the rest of the Andre team. We got the Steiners together. We got the Dudleys together. We got FTR together. We keep calling them FTR, but the Revival technically.
I was thinking if you are doing a Team TNA, then it would be AJ, Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett, and the Dudleys.
You know,
they did spend more of their career in TNA than they did in WWE.
That's not. Is that true?
Yeah, I probably.
Oh my god!
When did I join TNA? I joined TNA in like 2006.
I joined in 05.
And Bully was there until like.
Yeah, Bully was there for nearly 10 years. Okay, yeah. Wow.
And really, who else would be on the team? Because I like the idea of Angle being the leader of his team rather than just another one on Team TNA.
Well, I was thinking. You either put those two on Team TNA. Again, this is where my mind keeps going to like just enforce. It's either those two on Team TNA, or you put the Hardys on Team TNA, and then you put the Dudleys in Team Extreme with Foley and Funk. Because then you could have those two, Rob Van Dam and the Dudley Boys, and then like a big like ECW reunion act. And then Jeff and Matt are well known for their time in TNA as well. So
if we had a Foley, Funk, Dudleys. Would there be a 5th ECW guy that would make
RVD.
sense? Oh, fucking RVD. God damn it.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Totally forgot about RVD. Just said.
Yeah, so I think that makes more sense. And then you could put the Hardys on the TNA team because, to be fair, like they've both been world champion in TNA. So,
I think just for a kicker too, like you'd have to clarify, it's Broken Hardys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and. If we did that, they'd have to go up against each other.
Team TNA against Team Extreme?
I'd be alright with that, only because...
It's like Team ECW against Team TNA, kind of a deal.
I don't think they necessarily need to go up against each other. I think that we can lock those two teams in, but I don't feel like they necessarily have to go against each other.
ECW, TNA. Yeah, we might find like a WCW team, or we might find another kind of thing that works. But at least for now, I'll put that down as a maybe.
Have we built like a Team Ring of Honor?
Well, that'd be just like essentially putting Undisputed Era and one other team together. Undisputed Era basically Team Ring of Honor.
I really like this team that you had mentioned about the Team Mother Canuckers.
I really like that team. I thought it was fun.
Because it's funny. Like, it's good.
And these guys are comedy guys as well.
Are you cool with rocking that?
Oh, yeah, I'd love that team.
Because I like the name of it, too. Just like...
Because you could imagine them cutting a promo saying
so good.
And they're like, all of them are both serious and goofy at different times. So you could have like the List Jericho type of guy popping in. You got Edge doing his shit. You got Christian with the peeps. You got Owens is the only one that's not goofy, but he could be the one that's like the straight man.
He's done comedy stuff in the past.
Some stuff, but he could be the straight man even if you needed to.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. let's see here. If we had the Kings team, if we needed a fourth on that one,
I think it has to be the Macho King.
I just don't see that too. But then again, where did we put Savage?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just like I don't see a natural fit for Randy Savage anywhere.
He might have to go on that kind of a thing if we can't think of anything else.
I mean, the only other choice would be Regal, but that takes him out of the European Union thing.
And then if we took him out, there would be a team of 4 unless we had another European guy. Is there another European guy that would fit in there?
Well, there's loads of European guys. We've got Neville and Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne, though. Ooh, Pete Dunne. I kind of like that.
Pete Dunne would be a good fit for that. I mean, if you want to put Regal on the Kings one and put Dunne on that, it can work.
I kind of like that because these guys, well, Harley Race, not so much comedy, but because where else is Pete Dunne going to go to?
True.
Unless he was on a team with Gargano Ciampa, like an NXT type thing. But we'd have the Undisputed Era.
That could work as like a European Union too.
And he's the bruiserweight, so it's like he, with the bar, that might work. Kind of digging that.
Yeah. I'm thinking there's something to do with Animal and Hawk and putting Batista on that team.
Oh, Jesus. Yes.
It's like the Animals. I wouldn't put Road Dogg on it, though.
So, Road Warrior, Hawk, Road Warrior, Animal, they're going to be on a team that they can't fit on this team, that team, that team. Like, they got to be on some separate thing. They're not going to fit in any of these teams that we've got so far. So they're definitely on their own in some fashion with some other people that, no matter who they're with, too, those people are wearing shoulder pads and everything. Clearly, they need that kind of combo. We got this Angle team.
I'm ready to look in the Team Angle one.
Yeah, you know what? I think that I don't think we're going to find another spot for any.
Can we put them against the Mother Connectors just because?
No, I think that they need to be in some sort of. I think we'll find another team for that one. I'm always thinking the Mother Canuckers have to go up against the Hartley Foundation.
I kind of like the idea of putting the Hearts against the Bloodline.
I do kind of like the Hearts against Bloodline.
But it's deciding who the Bloodline is. I legitimately think that Yokozuna is a better fit for the Andre and Big Show team if we're going for the big beefy boys in one team. I think Rock and Roman should be on the same team in that regard. And Yokozuna's character is not Samoan.
Well, he's Samoan, but he went and became a Yokozuna.
Is that the story they told?
Yeah. It's a very.
Why did he come with the Japanese flag to the ring?
Because he made his name in Japan. That's that whole thing.
That's amazing.
Well, we don't have to lock those in yet. And we're not. These are all just examples of things. I don't know why I didn't fucking label the Wyatt family in Disputed Era. It's like, of course, that's what they're called. Wyatt family. Oops. Hart Foundation. Undisputed Era. It'd be good if I actually typed it correct. If I typed it correct, God damn it, Tony, what the
I want to ask, obviously, I know we're bouncing around all over the place and stuff like that, but there should be a Team DX. But
the thing with the DX thing is, if you take either of these guys out, you can't do Sean and these guys. You'd have to do these 4. And then you'd have to either include Sean or you'd have to go with Rick Rude, which I think is absolutely absurd. So then that would have to be Triple H on that team.
But then I'm thinking, would Evolution make more sense for Triple H?
Well, then we would take Ric Flair out of that one, and what would we do with Arn and Tully, for instance?
Well, Arn and Tully could be a 4-person team of Arn, Tully. Actually, that could be quite interesting because it could just be a team of 2 different tag teams of Arn, Tully,
and FTR.
The FTR, and then on the other side you'd have Rock and Roll Express and the Street Profits.
What?
Wouldn't we put DIY on that team?
You could put DIY on the team.
Yeah, if we're just doing like the rivals against.
Well, I
the
was always
rivals.
thinking that maybe you could do something with Gargano and Ciampa as like a team NXT.
If we had Aaron Tully,
Because you sometimes have those Survivor Series teams, right? That's just like it's just two sets of tag teams put together.
if we had these, not that they're paired off, but just to separate them a little bit.
I think Evolution is like you need something for Randy and Batista to be on.
But then who do we put with what do we do with DX? Because I think Sean with those guys is weird.
Yeah, well, I'd say that then you don't necessarily have a team DX. You have like a weird hybrid of DX and the Click.
Or do you
and put Ramon and Diesel on that?
do you do this?
Why wouldn't you just do DX in the NWO?
And you've got the New Age Outlaws together. You've got the Click without Triple H. But then who would the New Age Outlaws be paired with?
I think they could be like in a team of sort of like Loudmouths or something like that. I don't think.
Man, this is actually tough with some of these.
Yeah, well,
We got
it's
some that
tough
were like
because
quick out of the way, and then we got some that are just like.
it's tough because there are a lot of combinations.
Right.
Like,
I don't think we're going to get a better team. Maybe Sting elsewhere, but I don't think we're going to get a better team of like Team Darkside than these four, at the very least. So Sting, possibly. I'll put him in a little bit of. There you go. Let's stand him out.
we must have some sort of team of Hulkamaniacs or something, right?
Do not say all Americans, Tony.
No, I don't think it should be all Americans. It should be.
No,
it should
I
be
didn't
called
say
Hulkamaniacs.
Callum. I said Tony.
I mean, there is the option of the All Americans against the European Union.
Well, yeah. Well, if it was an all-American team, let's put it that way. I don't like it because it's outdated, but like we have to put a European Union together. But if it's all Americans, it would be Hulk Hogan, John Cena, probably the Steiners.
The
Yeah, I
Steiners,
thought Steiners as well.
and then a fifth one.
Fifth one could be who's
Would
kind
that
of
be
like
Bruno, maybe?
No.
what, the Italian.
The Italian immigrant, all American, yeah.
Yeah. I guess he could be.
He
Like,
immigrated.
you could put the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, on that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Obviously,
Is
you'd
there-
probably- Cody. To be fair, Cody is probably more Mr. America now, anyway. But you know, it's like,
Yeah, you know what?
Well, that brings up a good point. The Rhodes are a trio. How do we make a fourth or a fifth? We have no other roads, so we might have to be splitting them up.
yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, maybe Goldust could be better placed in a different team anyway.
Goldust could be maybe part of like a wild card team of just like oddball characters.
Or he could go in like if you were to do like JBL and Ted DiBiase, he could go in a kind of like more money sort of themed orientated thing. Or he could be in a team of oddballs. I just don't know who the other oddballs are that we've got left.
We've got like Ricochet, Neville, like high flying team.
Yeah, we
Go
could
somewhere
have a
with
team of
that.
cruiserweights. Would be those two. You could put them maybe with Ray and Ricky.
Ricky, I don't think too much of like the same.
Yeah,
Well, no,
because you're thinking high flying in the sense that they're gonna fly everywhere,
Flip around and go crazy, yeah. Like
Well, then,
do
well, yeah, in
390
which case
flips.
You could have Ray, Neville, Ricochet, and Eddie. Unless you paired them with Gargano and Ciampa afterwards as well. But Gargano, obviously, they're not. Well, Ciampa at the very least is not super flippy, but he's a cruiserweight.
Is there a team WCW cruiserweights? We got Ray, Dean, Eddie.
Well, it'd be Jericho. Would be
We
one
already
of them,
locked
but-
Jericho in another team.
Yeah, Jericho. That's true.
And yeah, there's not really anyone else that fits in that one. But I mean, if we're going team cruiserweight, it could be Ray, Eddie, Malenko, Neville, and Ricochet. It's like an old school, new school thing.
Is there anything we can do with Jake the Snake?
Maybe he could be in Team Rebels with Austin, Punk, Ambrose, and Piper. He's slightly different, but he's still a bit of an outsider, an outcast.
So if there was anybody else that would make a fifth on that one, it probably would have to be him, right?
Well, Jake makes the most sense, I think, for that one.
Because I'm looking at this
Obviously,
list, I don't see anybody else that would make any sense.
Because obviously you mentioned, like, in our fantasy thing, like, we put Punk and Roberts against each other, but we did that because they're actually quite similar in certain ways. I think they fit as a Rebel team.
I think Perfect, if we don't do a team of Perfect being like, the wrestlers that are so good or whatever.
I mean, that's
Perfect,
Rude and Ziggler.
Perfect has to go on the Rude and Ziggler team or the DiBiase team. But I think more so that Perfect
I think DiBiase could be on that team as well. Rude, Ziggler, Perfect, DiBiase. It's just a bunch of, like, just arrogant heels.
Is there like a money pun that we could do with the word perfect?
I'm sure
Like,
you'll find it.
Something better than like perfectly rich. Like one of those kind of deals or something like.
The perfect price.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I like it.
Because everybody's got a price.
It's basically like TBRC, and he's like cronies. He's like just like of people that he'd meet at like a country club or something.
I'm kind of digging it. We might be able to get a fifth one out of that.
You do those four. And then you add Bam Bam as the heavy.
That's good. I mean, Bam Bam was in the $1 Million Corporation too.
Bam Bam definitely makes some more sense for the heavy than like Goldberg, Bobby Lashley, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
There's no other people that really stands out as like a gimmicky kind of deal like that. Yeah, I think Bam Bam, because Bam Bam, if he's not on there, he's on like a team of just like.
Will he be on the Giant team? I'd imagine
the Giants or something. Which the Giants, I'm thinking maybe Vader might need to go on that one, right?
Yeah, Vader should go on that.
It's funny. Like as we do this and as we come up with cheeky names, it makes you understand why they go. Okay, yeah, I can see more characters in NXT.
Yeah.
Like, just.
The European Union, we're going to lock that in pretty much.
Yeah, that's good too.
EU.
Even though technically the British people aren't in the EU anymore, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
The fact that we're even calling it European instead of the Foreign Fanatics is something.
I think didn't they in that, what was it, WWE 12 or something? They had the European Union.
They had the United Kingdom is what they had.
Oh, it's called the United Kingdom, even though one of them is Irish. Fine.
Yes.
Listen,
NXT, you can't take over Dublin.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, let's condense these a little bit, making a little bit more space. We need at least a fourth for the super heavyweight team, if not a fourth and a fifth. It might have to be Yoko. Yeah.
And then I think it has to be
Yoko.
And then that gives you your bloodline.
Yeah. I think it has to be Yoko for that because the name Yokozuna is like, I think it translates literally to something like heavyweight or something.
Grand champion, I believe.
Grand champion. And he's, the whole point's that he's fucking huge.
Yeah.
He's fat. Look at this guy, he's fat.
Let's see. We don't have Ultimate Warrior, so we can't put Ultimate Warrior and Road Warriors together.
No.
Legion of Doom. There's nothing with Legion. There's nothing with Doom.
That's a shame, I tried with that Ultimate Warrior. Gotta tell you. Not Barry Windham. Better go, guys.
I'm thinking they might fit with the Rhodes. There's like a WCW kind of connection there.
The Rhodes Warriors.
I kind of like it.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Because you know what? It's like, it's weird, but Cody and Goldust had the whole Stardust and Gold. And you imagine them with like the Road Warrior face paint and all that?
Mm.
And Dusty, fuck, I kind of like it.
Yeah. Rose Warriors.
Because the only other thing we would do with splitting them up is if we had Goldust on an oddball team, and we don't have a whole lot of oddballs, and Cody would just be like, where do we put Cody? And Dusty would be on this like American team with Hulk, but then it's just other Americans and who, you know, whatever. It's not that kind of deal. I kind of like it. I think we should
Yeah. Sometimes it just comes up to it just like springs up to you.
The Rhodes Warrior. And Dusty can be talking about like he's going up and down all these roads trying to make some money. New Age Outlaws are going to be an odd group.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, put that over here.
It's
Dean Malenko's an oddball. Not an oddball, but I think what do we do with him? We haven't quite settled on yet if Street Profits or the Keithley and Riddle thing. I think probably Keithley and Riddle make the most sense. Street Profits elsewhere.
Yeah. So shall we?
Or do we take Bam Bam out of the perfect price and put JBL in there?
Tim, what do you and Ron Simmons then?
Ron Simmons is tough though. But we could maybe do something based off of the word damn. I don't know what.
Oh my.
We got these kings.
Yeah, for the Kings.
You know what you do? You put Ron Simmons. That could be like your wild card deal, and you just call him that.
The Ring Kings.
Team.
Call them the Ring Kings, don't I? The Ring Kings.
Please don't do that.
Kings. Oh, they're totally Ring Kings.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of the damn team being like weird.
Yeah, it's like an oddball team. It's just that damn team. It's
then they should go with the Street Profits. You can imagine the Street Profits being on the damn team.
Yeah, Street Profits, Ron Simmons, and then just need two more.
One or two more. And then we put JBL on the perfect price.
And put Bam Bam in the super heavyweights.
Super heavyweight group. Because I don't think he mixes well with any of these other groups to be a fifth on that. He's not going to be a member of the Wyatt family or the Disputed Era. So, yeah, super heavyweights is that.
One thing, it's weird. Ron Simmons, Street Profits, maybe New Age Outlaws with them?
Oh, maybe. Because we don't know where we would put them.
I would love to see that promo.
Because Road Dogg could be talking, and Road Dogg and Montez and everybody like going back and forth. I kind of like it because it's weird.
It just cuts up with Ronson and Sandown. And then like that damn team.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, so let's look. Should we look in the Bloodline and look in the kind of Rebel team as well?
Obviously, they're not just going to be called Rebels. We're going to figure out another name for them. Yeah. Okay. We're getting there.
Yeah, we've got quite a few we've figured out, so...
we can lock in this New Day team.
Yeah, this New Day collective, I kind of like them. I don't know if we just call them Team New Day. But
Newer Day. There you go.
Newer Day.
So we got Steiners, we got that. We might as well with the Click and Evolution type things too.
Yeah, Evolution and the Click.
About another couple things.
Yeah. Kind of just looking. I'm kind of like mainly just looking at these team on the all these group of people on the left hand side because they're obviously going to be the hardest ones to place now, probably.
So what do we call this team of Arn, Tully?
I'm thinking of
just something as simple as like Brainbuster, or just use their thing because
it might just be the Revival, at least temporarily. Reviving the old school kind of
Or
thing.
you could just go with the fist no flips or something like that.
Oh yeah, no fist
Yeah.
flips.
All fist no flips type thing. It's like they're kind of a similar mold.
Anybody's wondering why I'm typing so stupid, it's because I'm leaning sideways to type.
All right, so now we've got like I'm trying to see. We should try and like group maybe the smaller people together, or like.
Okay, I think
the
Rey
smaller people.
Mysterio, Ricky Steamboat, the Rock and Roll Express can go against a team of Eddie, maybe Seth, and two more, maybe Dean and somebody else.
Try to look at some of these
Hear me
ones.
out about this team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I don't like.
I'm not loving it, but I'm thinking.
I almost think you should put like Orton on that, but then you think Evolution's too good because Randy Cena or Savage Cena, Hogan, and Sammartino. That last one is just too all over the place.
Maybe replace Bruno with Goldberg?
No, I think
don't like
Bruno
that.
needs to be on the. I think Bruno. I think.
Maybe
The thing-
replace
the thing I
Savage
think-
with Daniel Bryan, like super babyface.
Huh.
And the one that the ones that I'm kind of like not so keen on with that one is I don't like putting Randy and Hogan together.
And then you have Randy lead a team of heels to face the Uber babyface team. So it could be Randy, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley.
What if we did something kind of like this? You got like Goldberg on a Hogan team, Brock on a Savage team, Hogan and Savage against each other, and then you gotta pair those two off. That would be Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins, I guess.
That was kind of where I was going.
Obviously, more so, I guess. Like that?
Well, that was my
Yeah.
thing.
Good work. I'm just having a look at who we've got left.
What do we do with
So how many
Brian?
people do we have left? We have, that would leave us with 13 people left, which doesn't really fit. How many people do we have if we had that? So if we have these 8 here, and then we've got 13, so that's 21, which again isn't really like a great fit. I mean, obviously we could like mess things around a little bit, but that would be, if we have 21 people left, that would be 4 teams of 4 and 1 team of 5. We could do that.
Or we could try to add another person onto a team of 4.
Good. But I'm thinking if we're doing like a cruiserweight team, we could do Neville, Ricochet, DIY, and Rey Mysterio.
Man, this is tough. All right.
So I'm thinking at the moment, I'm thinking that we need to put the Steiners with Hogan because the Steiners don't fit anywhere else.
Damn. But then what do you do with if you took Hogan off and you put Steiner, so you need a 4th?
I'd take Cena. I'd take Cena out of that, and I'd have Cena be the head of his own team.
What team could that be, you think?
If we do like some sort of like
Cena, Ricky.
like again Ultimate Babyface style team, it'd be Cena, Ricky, Ray, Daniel Bryan,
Yeah, it would have to be Daniel Bryan in that.
and then we could just leave it at that.
Then it would
Or
be
actually, you could put so put Rick and Scott on the that team.
Hogan.
with Hogan. And put Bruno and Goldberg, I think, should both be on that as well. Unless you were to do like just an Ultimate Beast team and have Goldberg, Lashley, and Lesnar on one side. Because you could do Hogan, Steiner, the Steiners, Bruno, and Savage on the team. And then I'm thinking like if there's anyone else that would kind of like switch out to.
I think that Savage on that team doesn't make as much sense than him being on an opposite team, though. I mean, we could still do Macho King on there if we needed to.
I mean, yeah, we could make it a Macho King if we wanted to.
He could be the one that's leading the team, the Macho King.
It would make sense.
But then these like goofy. But then Race isn't. And really, the only reason that these ones are goofy is because they temporarily were goofy. They didn't have to be goofy. Regal, when he was king, he wasn't goofy.
They're still good wrestlers.
Yeah,
they still have good matches.
Lawler's goofy in WWE, but elsewhere, he's the fucking man. Booker T, of course.
I don't think there's any problem about them being like a gimmick team but still have good wrestlers on it.
I kind of think that he might work better there than just an oddball thing if we're kind of oddballing, if that's the case. Unless we do Hogan against Savage. But then it kind of shoehorns it to be the Hogan team against the Savage team no matter what.
Well, that leaves us with 20 people, so we could either have 4 teams of 5 or 5 teams of 4. How many teams have we got so far?
I think 4 teams of 5 would be better.
We've got 16, we've got 20. So yeah, 4 teams of 5 would probably be the best fit.
Well, depending too, if we can't figure it out.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to see.
Because we would need a 5th for this team. And looking at that, I'm not seeing a 5th that would make sense.
Unless you take one of the people off.
Goldberg's never been heel, right?
No.
Oh yeah, well yeah, he was.
Well, there was one time where he didn't follow the script, but then
he was heel. He was heel for 2 months in WCW at one point, but that's about it.
Because he could be on that babyface team. It's weird though. I don't really like it.
I don't want him to be on Cena's team. I'd rather him be on Hogan.
No. Like Goldberg doesn't work well as an underdog. Cena, you can say whatever you want, knew how to play the underdog.
Goldberg and Lesnar either have to be on the same team and it's just like juggernauts, or they have to be on opposite teams.
Well, you could have
the juggernaut, bitch.
And you could have Lashley and Lesnar and the Steiners, because Steiners did play heel as well. Arguably, they were better as heel. And they also fit in that kind of like not MMA but amateur wrestling background that Lashley and Lesnar have. Because then you could do like Hogan, Sammartino, the Rock and Roll Express. Because they're like again more of like an ultimate babyface type thing. Maybe throw either Cena or Steamboat on that one.
Is there like a yes team that we could build around Daniel Bryan, or is he more so just ultimate babyface?
Well, it would kind of have to fit in. Unless you would like. I'm trying to look. So I'm thinking if you have Daniel Bryan's team, my Daniel Bryan's team would probably have DIY on it, because they seem to fit that kind of mold. Mysterio would probably be on it. I think Seth, Dean, and Eddie should be on the same team.
We know for sure nobody's going to be added to the Wyatt family. Nobody's added to Undisputed Era. These are all 5s. Nobody's added here. Nobody's added here. So if we were going to add a 5th person to any team, it would have to be this team.
Well, that would be like the only one that fits into that would be Dean, I'd say.
Dean Malenko would be the only one that would fit. And then that kind of throws that off a little bit, because I like the idea of it just being the 2 teams.
Yeah.
So then we're working with this crew.
Well, I think Dean, Eddie, and Seth make sense as would be like 3 on one team. Actually, I'd say those 3 and Pac or Neville, obviously, but like the Mad King Neville kind of fits. There's like these vicious cerebral heels. They could be like jackals or something.
Jackal. It's always going to be good. If anybody was wondering, this one, there you go. Anonymous Jackal. Who is the Jackal between you two?
I believe I'm the Jackal.
Yeah, Rob's the Jackal.
I'm the
He's
Jackal.
Cyrus.
For now, I'm going to separate some of these.
Yeah.
Bruno, Hogan, separate.
Yeah.
Goldberg, separate. Lashley, Lesnar. So we know we're pairing these two. I would assume we're probably pairing these two as like a high flying team.
I generally think Neville should be split from Ricochet and go on that team below. Neville was better as a heel.
I agree with that.
So what's the theme or whatever of this?
I said they were jackals. They're like cerebral kind of, not cerebral assassins obviously because I know it's Triple H's thing, but they're like people that are more like, they're smaller but they're vicious.
They're calculated killers.
It'd be like, if we even call them like jackals or assassins or something like that because
They're gonna
more,
be jackals now. I think we.
but that's kind of like, because they're all a bit more, they're more brutal cruiserweights.
I'm cool with it for right now. I don't want to fully lock it, but
because I think Ricochet's obviously he's just too much of a natural babyface.
Yeah,
And he could actually go. He'd go on that team with like Cena, Mysterio, Steamboat, Daniel Bryan, put Ricochet in there. They're like new school baby faces. But then I also think that like Gargano and Ciampa should go in that thing as well. But maybe if we'd do like the all fist no flips, then realistically you could have Anderson and Tully are against Gibson and Morton, Rock and Roll Express, and Wilder and Dawson are against DIY. Like 4-on-4.
I can see that.
I think Rob mentioned it earlier, so I'm just like coming back to that one. But now I see it quite clearly, like that one.
Hey,
I can see that potentially being there, and then it's Rock and Roll Express and DIY. I don't know what they would name them. I don't. They'd probably go something just simple as DIY Express.
Rock yourself. Rock it yourself.
Go rock yourself.
Go rock yourself.
Well, if we didn't go with these two teams against each other, because obviously they'd have to go against each other if that was the case. Is there any kind of natural fit for this team to go up against any of these other teams before? Not Y Family, Undisputed Era. I don't think so. And then Triple H.
No, because I just think they're so naturally paired against each other. Because obviously they were rivals against each other just in reality, and I think it just fits. Because who does that leave us with? That leaves us with. So we've got 16 people left.
We could do a Brock and Bobby
So I'm trying to have a look.
MMA type thing.
So I'm trying to see if what we count up. So we've got 16 teams there. We've got 21 teams there. So we've got 21 teams in total right now.
Yeah, 16 people left.
Yeah. So if we could put
4 teams of 4.
If it's 4 teams of 4, that leaves us with 25 teams.
Oh, so we need the.
So we need how many? So 16. If we have, I'm trying to count. So we've got 6 teams of 4, and that means we've got 15 teams of 5.
We're probably having these 2 teams against each other, right?
What Evolution against Click?
Yeah.
But that would leave the Undisputed Era against the Wyatt family.
Right, that's where I'm getting at, because I'm like, that doesn't. Wyatt family and Undisputed Era doesn't work. But then again, Wyatt family against Click, Wyatt family against Evolution, that doesn't work.
I'm sure Wyatt family Undisputed Era is one of those things where if we would have been given the chance to see it play out, maybe they could have gotten there.
What throws me off about it, though, is it's 4 huge guys against 4 small guys. I think Wyatt family against Darkseid makes some more sense. And then we would need to have a 5th member of the Wyatt family.
We take Sting off the dark side.
That's right, we could take Sting off of that. If we took Sting off...
Because Sting fits in a lot of babyface teams as well.
Then we're left with 17 people on here. And we would need
to 17. So we've got 17 people. That would be... I'm trying to think. So at the moment, we've got 7 teams of 4 and...
We could just leave one person off.
14.
Not the end of the world. It's not like
Yeah,
anybody's
yeah.
like, got to come to our heads about this.
No. Well, let's think about it. So, what is Cena's team going to be?
For right
You've already got those
now,
people behind it.
just so I don't completely lose track, I'm just gonna put these next to each other.
Yeah.
That was kind of where we were going, which means that we would need another team of 4 to balance out the Undisputed Era.
Well, if we're going to do Click against Evolution, then who would be a team of 4 that will take on the Undisputed Era? I feel like it should be like because they're heel acts. It should be a babyface team.
Yeah.
So I would say 14 babyfaces. Cena.
Brian.
Because Cena, Bryan, Mysterio, and Steamboat. They're like 4 of the most ultimate baby faces of all time.
That's true. And we got like Cole and Cena.
It'd be a great match.
It is a little like, okay, clearly John Cena's going to run through the Undisputed Era kind of deal.
You can put them over.
Unless we had John Cena on some kind of a thing with like this kind of group here or something.
What for putting? So what you put Cena with Hogan, Sammartino, Goldberg, and Sting.
See, you really like that overpowered idea.
I'm just like thinking about like if we were gonna go an overpowered thing, then it's just fully overpowered. Because maybe we could do like Cena, Goldberg, Hogan, Sammartino,
Sting,
and maybe Sting, but maybe not against the super heavyweight team.
We'd need a 5th member for that. The only other overpowered one we put in there is probably Brock. Brock's heel.
Well, that would maybe be Sting.
Yeah.
This group against the super
Team
heavyweight.
OP.
So it's like the two like who can beat the OP team. Well, this is the team of the people that are literally the biggest people.
Mm.
I could see that being the case.
Yeah. Let's put them in.
I like that. Team OP.
Team OP. The like the cheat code that you put into like a video game.
You down with Team OP?
Yeah, you know.
So let's see who we're left with. I'd say
So we still need a team of 4 for the Undisputed Era. So that would be this team, and then I guess Ricochet.
shows the right fit for that. And then that could also that leaves us again with it's not the most natural fit by any stretch of imagination because they're both kind of heels. But it's like you have Lesnar, Lashley, Steiner, and the Steiners, and you have Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Seth Rollins, and Neville.
Now, obviously, these aren't necessarily facing each other, but
yeah,
I'm not loving that team. If we can rearrange somebody somewhere, but then again, who would that be? Let's see. These are teams of 4, just to keep these organized. Steiners aren't looking like they would fit on any team in my mind. Other than that, we might just be left with those just as like, what else do you do?
Let's see.
So we had like Lashley and Lesnar on opposite teams. But Lashley's a heel better, I think, right?
Yeah. And both these teams are heels. Would be better as heels.
But then they kind of have to face each other, don't they? Yeah, they have to because it's teams of 4. Because it's these two, and then these two. It would have to be these two teams against each other. So that's weird.
It's the problem when you have when mostly WWE's good at booking heels teams rather than. We've already put Ultimate Babyface together anyway. Is there anything else we could do with some of them?
To balance it out, we might have to go with Lesnar and Lashley on opposite teams. I mean, we could split the Steiners. We could do like Rick on Bobby Lashley's team and do something like weird like this, where it's kind of like.
I mean, they did feud a lot in WCW, but then again, that wasn't exactly successful.
Like we could have like. I guess Neville would be more of a babyface. And I guess Rollins would be more heel. Dean and Eddie. God, I don't like any of these pairings. Shit.
Some of these ones. So, if you wanted to make... Let's see.
Some of these teams that we've done already, though, are just too good to be able to do that. To mess around. We're not going to do, like, Steiners and the Hardys together and then try to figure out, like, oh, okay, well, but does Bobby Lashley go on Team TNA? And, you know, like that. Like,
Well, you could put, if you're in Team TNA again, like, you could take the Hardys out and put the Steiners in their place.
Was Rick in TNA?
Yeah, briefly.
He could
He was.
But then we balanced out the Hardys and that, so then the Steiners.
Oh, yeah. Well, Steiners feuded with the Steiners feuded with the Dudleys and TNA.
And then if we did that, the Hardy Boys are obviously a babyface team.
Yeah, so you could do... I think you could do the Hardys, Rollins and Neville as like a babyface team against Lashley, Lesnar and Eddie and Malenko. Either that or you put Rollins on the heel side and put Eddie on the babyface one.
So let's look at this. Yeah, but we're on the wild card end of things, aren't we?
I feel like we did such a good job, and then we hit this point where like, fuck.
Proof that it's easier to work with like 36 women than 115 men.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be a case of, I don't know, like I kind of like am fine with, because these are obviously these two are definitive heels. They're better at heels. Malenka's better as a heel. Hardy's the baby faces. Neville can be a babyface. Obviously, he's good as a heel as well, but like he works as a babyface. And then it's just a choice between: do we think Eddie's a better heel or Rollins is a better heel? So I could easily swap Rollins on one side and put Eddie on the other. Obviously, Eddie and Malenko are connected, but like,
Or do we go like? We can't. I was gonna say he's a bastard and like that kind of thing, but he never did the bastard in WWE.
no. Well, there's that many choices. Like, do we swap Eddie and Seth?
Eddie and Seth, because Eddie's fun.
Yeah, this be
This
like
is
Big
more like a
Russell
fun
Eddie,
team. Yeah,
and maybe not the current version of Rollins, but like the version that was WWE champion for as long as he was.
and would it be like Seth is kind of leading the charge? He's the architect of this team. I got Malenko here for technical skills. I've got Lesnar because he's like unstoppable, and Lashley's, well, he's kind of the same as Lesnar in a lot of ways.
You would say it's a bit one-sided because Lesnar and Lashley are on that side, and then got the Hardys, Neville, and Eddie on the other side.
Yeah, but then I'm looking at these other teams and I'm like,
Well, I'd almost think like you could actually they would work better against the babyface team. We do Undisputed Era against the Hardys, Neville and Guerrero. And then the babyface can take on these ones because that's more like Daniel Bryan is more, and Rey Mysterio are more comparable in terms of just star power.
what about potentially moving Bam Bam off of the super heavyweight and putting Brock on there?
No, because Brock should be the leader of his team.
Well,
I also don't think Brock fits
we ever
because
got
these
to
are
an OP team for real was that Brock team. I just had like everybody's massive.
Yeah, and he's because Brock never does the gimmick of like I'm so big. It's just that he's
Well, the super heavyweights are guys that are obviously tall, but also like
The
girthy.
size.
Lesnar is an actual like athlete.
Yeah, he's big, but they never play up the size as being like. He never does the thing of the big guy needs to get 3 clotheslines to get knocked down.
Mm.
So it wouldn't make sense for him to be on the super heavyweight kind of team. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this pairing, if it was this team against that team,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
totally doesn't. It's one sided. But then I don't know. Maybe then that's fine. Maybe they just beat the shit out of that team or something. Nah, that sucks too.
I'm saying that's why you do Undisputed Era against the team of Hardys, the Hardys, Neville and Guerrero, and you do this ultimate babyface team against these guys instead. Even though it's still one-sided, like you could kind of suspend your disbelief enough to think that Daniel Bryan might be able to overcome these ones.
We might have to. Yeah, there might not be any other ideas.
I feel like we're stretching too much because otherwise we're going to be messing around with teams that we kind of like already.
Yeah, that's true. So if we go this team here,
Sure.
oops, and then we go this team here.
Oh, we got a problem.
You got a problem with what?
Well, we got 15 5-man teams,
Oh fuck!
and we've got 10 the other teams, 4 and 4. So 4 and 4s will work, but we'd be.
We got one team that's just missing. Shit.
Yeah.
How did that
So
happen?
it's like it's calculation and stuff like that. It's hard to fit 115 people and find the right configuration of stuff to go into it.
So
Let's say it's like 23 teams. It'd be 23 teams of 5. Let's see, would it be? You're trying to find.
No matter what, we're gonna end up leaving some people off the card.
Realistically.
Yeah, we pretty much have to. Because even if we tried to make a team of 5 out of here, we're leaving 3 people off.
Mm.
If it was a team of 5 to balance that out to be 16.
Yeah.
Since we didn't really like these all that much, we can try to form a team of 5 out of that, I guess. Or we can try to form a team of 5 out of adding another one of these kind of groups. I think that this is solid.
Well, I'd say. Yeah, that's solid.
I think that
I'd
this
say-
is solid. And this one too. I don't think we can get any better than those.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm trying to think of like a team of 5 that would put together. Undisputed Era needs to stay as 4, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. We try and get like, so in order for this to work, we need probably one more team of 5 and then one team of 4 out of these.
Right.
We've got 12 people. So 3 people would be missing off.
If we were, without trying to figure out what the teams would be, I'd be cool with Neville not being on there. I'd be cool with Ricochet not being on there. And maybe Malenko.
Let me have a look. I think.
Yeah, I mean, of the floaters that are still kind of
how about we
around,
do this?
those 3 make sense.
How about we do this then instead? Let's re-update Team TNA to have the Hardys on it, and then we cut out Ricochet, Neville, and Rick Steiner.
Let's see, wait. Scott Steiner,
Because we can find
Hardys.
something for Scott Steiner too on his own.
Ricochet, Neville, Scott Steiner.
Yeah, they're the ones that miss out. Because I want Dean to be on it, realistically.
Unless we added... Is there a means to make a team of 5 out of this?
Uh,
Like, we could put Dean on...
Malenko can go on no flip, just fist. And then
Eddie.
I'd put Ricochet on the babyface side.
I
It probably would have to be, right?
mean, Ricochet makes the most sense, yeah.
Because I don't know where else we would put Malenko.
Okay, so we put Ricochet on that side. And then, how about this then? Then you have the babyface team of Brian, Mysterio, Steamboat, and Eddie. And then you have them against the Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era.
And then you have this heel group, this five-man team of Lashley, Lesnar, the Steiners, and Seth Rollins. With Seth Rollins kind of being like the architect general of that type of thing, but then it's just four other like powerhouses. And Neville was the sadly the one that misses out.
Yeah, that might be how we might have to do it. Yeah.
It's a shame that someone has to miss out, but like
This is the Neville level. He's
but Neville,
a special
Neville
guest.
doesn't play. But Neville doesn't play nice with people. So
He's a special guest referee of one of these.
He could like trade into like it would be basically you could do maybe we could if we wanted to just be like inclusive we could do Pete Dunne / Neville for Team EU.
The thing is, none of these people are on the Neville level, so just, what are you gonna do?
So then now we got to pair off. Sorry, Neville, you're off on the side there. We got to pair off some of these teams of 5 in their matches.
Okay, so we
do have our foundation against the Bloodline.
Put our position against the Bloodline. I think that works.
Yeah, that's kind of have to go there. 2 family teams. We've got this set of teams against each other. We already talked about that.
VIP one, yeah. Let's see. What we got? I'd say. I mean, you want to do TNA versus ECW, so we could do that.
Yeah, that seems like at this point the most sense.
Kind of have to with some of these teams.
We got. So I'm trying to think of like configurations because so the EU team is heel.
EU versus the Rhodes Warriors.
That could work.
Let's see where we're going here. Rhodes Warriors.
The Perfect Price versus the Rebels.
Perfect Price against Rebels. We didn't give a team name to this one. Let's see. EU. Was it EU against
Rhodes Warriors?
Rhodes
Yeah.
Warriors. Cause, yeah, I kind of can't see any other team against Road Warriors.
I'd say Perfect Price against Rebels.
Yeah, it kind of has to be. And you've got.
I'd say Mother Canuckers versus that damn team.
I would put the Mother Canuckers against Newer Day. I think they'd be more entertaining.
Well, we're pretty much going angles against Ring Kings, right?
No, it's angles against the Lesnar team.
Yeah, the Angles against Lesnar too. They would be the baby faces, so because you want to have the 3 baby faces team that we have left. Oh, that damn team, the Newer Day, and it would have to be the Angles. I know the Angles obviously can be heel, but they all work as baby
that
faces.
damn team against the Ring Kings, and it's a lot of tickle button hoo ha, and the Newer Day against the Mother Canuckers because I think they have a healthy mix of comedy
and actually being the best.
Yeah,
I'd say that works.
Yeah, and the that damn team definitely loses to the Ring Kings.
I mean, if we were gonna do match results real quick, it's Ring Kings go over, Rebels go over.
I mean, we're not gonna place this in order. I'll do a the color of the winning team will be in let's see, gold.
Yeah, that works.
I don't like that gold. Nah, I don't like that gold either.
That's like piss
This
brown,
is like,
dude.
yeah, this is awful.
The first gold is fine. That's fine.
There
Try
you
yourself.
go, fine.
Impulses.
No, go with all the impulses. All right, Ring Kings wins that one. Rebels against the Perfect Price. The Rebels got to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a babyface team winning that one. There we go. That's not the right one. Why the fuck is this doing this? Where was that one? What did I use? This one? Okay. Newer Day against Mother Canuckers.
I don't know what kind of want the Mother Canuckers to win.
I think the Mother Canuckers win because they have a little bit more star power on that side.
I think that they cheat to win too.
Yeah.
They that's something that like maybe like a Jericho wins it for the team or something after being like a real, son of a bitch.
Real Canucker.
A real Canucker, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say.
Team
I'm looking at the what are we going to call the Lesnar team? I'm just trying to think of that.
Team OP's got to win.
Yeah.
Just because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Rhodes Warriors against the EU.
I'd like the EU to win that one.
I could see that.
Yeah. Dusty gets counted out though. He can't lose.
Yeah, he gets eliminated first.
Yeah,
that would be the type of thing. I think you'd knock out the Road Warriors and you'd leave the Roads, so it could be like, oh my god, the Roads ones are the ones that are next, and that kind of deal. Click against Evolution. I think that probably Evolution wins.
Yeah.
Maybe they cheat. Maybe that's the type of thing that Triple H wins it for the team. It's down to Triple H and Shawn. Batista takes out Diesel.
There you go.
Maybe Razor takes out Batista. Orton gets a thing on that. X-Pac rolls up Orton. Shawn takes out Rick. Triple H takes out. Yeah. Look at that. But that's how fucking simple some of this shit is. It really bothers me sometimes when people act like this is hard. The hardest thing was we were trying to figure out some other ways to do some of these things.
I think ECW would have to win on that one.
ECW or TNA?
I'd say
TNA. Don't want to do that.
my vote would be ECW probably as well.
Yeah.
I think
It's got the stronger.
I think I'd go TNA. Why don't we wait and see how many babyface teams and heel teams? Dark Side wins.
Okay.
Dark Side wins.
Yeah. Can we call the Well, first of all,
Undisputed Era wins.
no, babyfaces win that one.
No, the Undisputed Era.
We have way too many heels winning.
Well, what do you want to be happy? Like,
I just think that the thing is about the Undisputed Era is that they always lose these 4-on-4 matches.
that's true. Fine, fair enough. You sold it.
They only won when the matches when they're babyfaces.
All right, so babyfaces win. I think the DIY team wins. Or you know what? Yeah, DIY team wins.
So column left. Separating these. This is my part of me that's like, no, it looks too much too crazy, that kind of thing. Sorry, everybody.
Impulses.
It's my it's my somewhat OCD just being like, nope, you got to make that look nicer.
It's really bad for the people that don't watch the video.
Yeah. Well, they were just they'll have to imagine how much nicer it looks.
You don't want to imagine what it's like inside his brain.
I'm thinking more about people like the long pauses where Tony's just clicking around and just trying to fix everything.
That's a 2-hour and 4-minute video. They're fine.
Okay.
Well,
so
I would go more for Undisputed Era, but I think there's a case to say that the babyface team wins because Daniel Bryan wins it for the team.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Maybe
Again, it's just a case that
maybe we'll wait on that one too.
Okay. First of all, for that team that's for the Lesnar team, can we put Lesnar at the top spot because Lesnar's the captain of that? So
yeah.
Just my own my own sense of OCD. And could we call it B Squad?
Why are we calling it B Squad again?
Because it's Lesnar's team, and I just feel like Rollins would feel that he's one of those characters that obviously can be taken seriously, but then can also be a bit comedy as well. And he says like, "Yeah, go Team B Squad," and he's the smallest guy out of the entire group of them.
The beat Brocks.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
You
I
thinking
think
the Brock
Lesnar's
party?
team has to win.
You thinking B Squad or Angles?
B
I
Squad.
think B Squad.
B Squad.
It's here again, but that's good.
Dark Side wins.
Heart Foundation and Bloodline.
Ooh.
Hearts.
Well, let's see. Jimmy and Jay get eliminated for sure. Umaga gets eliminated for sure. You got The Rock and Roman against Brett.
And Owen, probably. Or Bulldog. Or...
Oh no, Jim definitely gets eliminated. Pillman gets
Jim
eliminated.
gets eliminated. Bulldog probably takes out Umaga and gets eliminated. It's probably down to Brett against Rock and Roman. I think.
Yeah, and I think in that
Bloodline
case,
probably
you go
wins.
Bloodline.
Yeah.
Heel Bloodline.
No, I would make a case for the Heart Foundation, but alright.
I think Heart Foundation's heel.
Do you think so? You have the Rock and Roman. Roman
I guess
in this
they
character.
were though, because with the exception of Umaga, all of those characters can have a backstory as babyfaces.
But all members of the Heart Foundation have backstories of babyfaces as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
but when
it's,
they were a unit, they were heels.
Maybe it's tweeners.
It
Maybe
could
it's
just,
just,
it could just be want to prove the best.
Yeah.
They could be two heel teams and just say, okay, who's the dominant family in sports entertainment?
And each side's got their, like, The Rock's the charismatic babyface kind of guy out of the bunch. And then you've got somebody like, Brett, who you can play into the total heel, or you can play into he's the honorable one of the team, yeah, that'd be a hell of a match though. God, imagine that. You got Jimmy and Jay against Owen and Bulldog, or you got Pillman going crazy in there. You've got Bulldog matching up with Umaga. God, I would love to see that match. All Flips wins, right? Or Office.
No, DIY, I'd say.
You think?
Yeah.
I go for that team. What do you think, Rob?
I think I'd say the babyface team, but I can see them cheating too. You know what, babyface team, and I think Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson survive.
Now I'm kind of tempted to put Survivors in italics.
No, that's too much.
I might on another time. Maybe it's a dark cast. I don't know. We've already had a 2-hour podcast. So I'm not going to.
You can do that dark cast on your own if that's the case.
Horsewomen win.
Yes.
What? Horsewomen win that. All beat the Divas. Because you got to do the message of like the stuck-up bitches have to lose, even though Naomi's not a stuck-up bitch, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Team Tough.
Team Tough has to win.
I like Heart and Soul, but obviously I think the Tough team should win that one.
Ronda and Shayna and Karma survive.
Heart and Soul, they got all the heart and soul going into it, but they get crushed. Like, not crushed, like all eliminated, but like a broken heart.
And I'd say the Glamazons win.
Joshi against the Glamazons. Yeah, I'd go Glamazons too.
Again, I'd absolutely love to see that match.
Yeah, that'd be another really good one.
The only things I wouldn't enjoy seeing is whenever China was involved, but that's kind of just.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heel teams winning.
They're all.
And you got
got 16 matches so far.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 baby faces.
5 baby faces. And then this is a baby face or heel type of team. If anything, these are the baby faces.
ECW wins.
Yes, ECW. Yeah, ECW.
Which we said anyway.
ECW wins. Maybe Foley's the last one or something.
And then the babyface team wins.
Babyface team beats Undisputed Era because of Daniel Bryan.
That evens out pretty much.
Yeah, look at that.
And there you go, folks.
Ultimate friggin' Survivor Series. This would take forever if we had this many Survivor Series elimination matches on a pay-per-view card.
It'd be like a 3-day event or something.
Yeah. Series. World Series is more than one night. There you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
We even booked that. In 2 seconds, we booked that too.
And who doesn't want to see like 3 consecutive nights of WWE television?
Well, if it's this, maybe it's
this would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Much better than a pay-per-view, than Raw, than NXT, the way that things are.
Much better than a pay-per-view about an egg that doesn't actually have any payoff.
The Rock gave me this egg. Fucking eggs. Scrambled. It's just, yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's the podcast. I don't think there's anything else we can do on that front. Yeah, we can't do anything with Neville. So, sorry, Neville.
Or Neville.
We lost out. But then again, when we made our ultimate roster, we had one extra person, remember? So, yeah. Fuck you, I guess, Neville. You're not the extra person on that roster.
There you go. So, at some point on one of these fantasy cards, it's going to be Shelton Benjamin against Neville because they're the leftovers.
Speaking of leftovers, you got Thanksgiving coming up. You guys are going to be hopefully eating a lot of tasty food and everything. If you celebrate it, of course, you don't have to. It's not one of those things you have to do. But while you're doing that, what comes after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. And I want to do a little bit of a shout out here to Manscaped for their Black Friday and Cyber Monday deal. It's going to be going on the same week because that's the whole point. But it's the same deal. You get 25% off your entire order and free shipping. So that's even more than normal. It's usually 20% off. You get 25% off this time around. So make sure that you go over to manscaped.com/smark and pick up something for whether it's a Christmas gift or you want to pick up something for yourself or, you know, you want to try these products out that we've been telling you about for quite a while. Again, we've talked about before. I've been using all this stuff for my whole wedding thing. I've used every single product, I think, outside of like, I didn't use like the mats that you can shave and then like collect the hair. I didn't use that, but like the Weed Whacker, the Lawnmower 4.0 is of course like something I use every couple of days. The Refined Cologne is the cologne that I've been using the most out of all the colognes that I have. And I think that it's hilarious every time that I grab something like the Crop Cleaner or anything that I laughed at the titles for everything. So recommend it for everybody who's interested in picking that stuff up. Everybody that I know that has picked up something has said that they enjoyed that and they want to buy more things for other people, like the grooming kit. I know at least 1 or 2 other people that are going to pick that up for a Christmas gift. I can't say who because then that would potentially spoil a Christmas gift. But that is something that you should be aware of. Black Friday happening right after Thanksgiving, 25% off your entire order and free shipping over on manscaped.com/smark. And yeah, we got the teams of 5, the teams of 4. We've got all these different teams. This is just one of the spin-off ideas that we had for what to do with the Ultimate Roster. We are going to, somewhere down the line, I don't know exactly when, we will do an Ultimate Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
We've got, 36 women. So we do have enough women to do a Royal Rumble for that. And that'll be one where we actually do most likely sit down and figure out the order of everything and the eliminations and stuff. Like, we're not doing that for the Soul Survivors on this one, or I might. I don't know. It depends how busy I am. But the game plan for that is that we will try to do an Ultimate Money in the Bank ladder match. If we want to try to do something like that, we're going to try to do things based off of how we can have some more fun with that. And, if you have any suggestions of what you'd like to see, some other Ultimate types of cards, one thing I do think that we should do, and we don't have time to do it now, it would take way too long, but maybe a spinoff. If we still are doing this by this time next year, I think I would like to do an Ultimate one side against the other side, heel and babyface. It doesn't matter the numbers, Survivor Series, where it's like, all right, you have to separate every one of these men and women. Yeah, obviously it would be a women's match and a men's match, but separate them all. They have to go on a babyface or a heel team. And then you'd have to balance it out. So you'd have, out of the 36 women, half of them on the babyface team, half of them on the heel team. And you got to figure out who's the team captain. You got to figure out who would be the sole survivors, that kind of thing. I think that will be the spinoff that we would do next Survivor Series if we want to play around with this concept again. But there are a couple different things. We could do a King of the Ring tournament maybe with this. We can do other kinds of teams. Maybe we, do some kind of a battle royal or something. I don't know, whatever it is. If you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments below. Tell us what you would do with these different teams, even if it's just, what do you mean that that damn team wouldn't win? Whatever.
I want to see somebody make that case.
And the only thing I could see the argument to fight that one, other than the idea that it's like, the Kings, of course, they should win just because they're the more serious team. But you got to have that damn team lose so that at the end of it, Ron Simmons just looks at them all and just says, damn, So there you go. There's your argument to preemptively tell you, no, Ren Kings win. For some of these teams that we don't have like a real name for, like the babyface teams, just kind of the group of babyfaces. Tell us your ideas. What other name would you have for the Rebel team? We never really thought about a Rebel team. There's probably some kind of cool team name that we just didn't think about. I don't know. Whatever it is, though, drop your comments below. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us if you like this episode and if you want to see more. And tell us what you're eating. Hopefully it's tasty. I did all my plugs pretty much in advance. The only thing I didn't talk about was Fanboys Anonymous. Go to fanboysanonymous.com and share all the things and show your love to that brand. And stay tuned for whatever else I'm doing there. It's been on hiatus from these past couple of weeks and stuff, but I'm going to see Ghostbusters and I'm going to see Last Night in Soho. So maybe Caroline and I will do something based off of those, or maybe Rob and I will watch another movie and do another fan tracks or something. I don't know. I'm still setting some stuff up, but go to fanboysanonymous.com.
Now that you're living with Caroline, we can finally start a couple movies you and me, right?
That's true. I'll have the blue heart for me, the purple heart for Caroline, and then there's just going to be some like red heart in the middle of it. That's like I can just picture this like cartoon.
Me forcing my way.
Right. I can picture a cartoon of like and it's one of those kind of gimmicky cartoon things where it's like the two other people on the side are looking like, wait, what the hell? And it's Rob like super excited. I can see that being the case. But yeah, follow me at Tony Mango as well, and follow what these guys have that they're working on and what they're cooking up. What are you cooking up, Rob?
Yeah, if I am cooking anything up, it's going to be on social media at Dude Felice, including twitch.tv/Dude Felice. I would love to have a proper schedule where I could actually say, I'll be live this day, this day, and this day. But for now, I've been live sporadically, watching old promos, playing some games, just talking wrestling, talking music, talking whatever. Just stop by and say hi and check out Fightful Select, because that is where my bread is buttered and I like to eat. Callum?
Yeah, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so I'll just be having a normal day. On Thursday instead. But hopefully everyone else listening who does celebrate the occasion enjoys it. For me, you can follow me on Twitter at Wigmeister14. Check out the articles on smark@moment.com. Make a beeline towards the power rankings, but then make sure you stop by everything else as well. And yeah, that's basically it from me. Also, just on the front for the future of these drafts as well, I have also been badgering these two about doing an ultimate worst roster of all time.
Yes, that's definitely something we have to do. We have to do the ultimate worst roster, and then we can even play around with doing these same kind of things that we're doing here with those worst groups. Like we could have I don't even know. How would we do that if we did the ultimate worst roster? Would we try to make the best card, or would we try to make the worst card?
Well, just as a little bit peek behind the scenes. At the moment, I've been working on a list already of worst wrestlers and worst teams that I could possibly know. I currently have 180 things listed. People, just individuals, teams, men, women, tag teams.
What are a couple of them? Name a couple.
We've got the likes of Braden Walker.
Yeah.
Got the likes of Bastian Booger, Gene Snitsky, Cain Velasquez, Tony's favorite.
We got Bam Neely.
Oh yeah, definitely got Bam Neely on there. But on the women's side of things, we've got anyone ranging from Cameron to Katrina Cortez, which was quite bad considering she recently got released. But Rosa Mendez,
Shaniqua,
Lana, Snooki.
Rose Mendez might be the only person on that list who just never won a match.
Didn't she win one? Or no, did she not? I know that she had said that was her goal, was to win a match, which was really just sad.
And then like on the tag team front, you've got things like the Mean Street Posse, Well Done, Techno Team 2000.
Techno Team 2000.
So we've got a whole coronation, and the plan would be to do something that we haven't done before, because who wants to pick any of these losers, right? It would be, instead, we would do a random draft, a blind draft, as it were, where each one would be assigned, each one of these people would be just assigned a number. You pick a number, you get that person, you have no idea who you're picking. And you basically have to just make I would say try and make as good a card as possible out of that, or at least as entertaining a card as you possibly can out of the people that you draft. But that's definitely something that we want to put in the pipeline, because we've done the best so far and it's been a lot of fun. But where's the next step? The next step is to try and create a team that we literally can't do anything with.
God, imagine trying to make a card where it's like, all right,
your main event is Nathan Jones against Kenzo Suzuki.
Like, I got Eric Escobar, and I've got what's this guy? Hade Vanson. It's like, I haven't even seen the guy other than his face. What do I do with him? Do you have Kazarni on the list?
Oh, definitely have Kazarni on the list. Kazarni's one of the first people I put down.
Poor Kazarni.
Got also for Rob's case, to put Ho Loon there as well.
Yeah, Ho Loon, fuck yeah!
Yeah. Yeah, if it was actually trying to pick the people, I'd probably try to pick Ho Loon, because I was like, he wasn't that bad.
He's one of the earliest ones. You'd definitely pick him over the Blue Meanie.
I pick him just for the theme. Yeah, the worst things are something that we could play around a lot with too. Obviously, we wouldn't do somewhere in the middle, because what the fuck do you do with that? It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's middle, so it's a lot of. I don't even know who that's. Who would be in a middle?
Steve Blackman.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's like middle of the road.
Yeah.
Buff Bagwell.
Nah, he's lower. But yeah,
I wouldn't put him in the worst one. He's slightly lower, but maybe not in the worst one.
Nah, not in the worst. Yeah, that's something to look
forward to. I do have him listed currently in this worst one. That's because WWE run was so bad.
He's got the stuff. We've got a couple things coming up over the next couple of weeks that obviously we're going to be heading towards the end of the year already. And that means that we're going to do the AEW awards, we're going to do the WWE awards, and then once we get to the beginning of the year, it's going to be strange, because instead of just going from the end of the year awards to the usual one to watch, we got a pay-per-view with WWE Day 1. I don't know how we're going to balance that out yet, but that's going to happen in a couple weeks. We've got War Games coming up next week, so look forward to the predictions and the post-show for that. And then with these couple of blank weeks, I think we have 2 blank weeks. We were thinking about maybe doing a Mount Rushmore, because we haven't done one of them in a while, and we know that you guys really love those. We love doing them too. And then I don't know. We'll see if something happens, something springs up that we can kind of do something based off of. But just the same, if you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments below. We'll take that into consideration. And by the time 2022 rolls along, hopefully we'll start getting into some other kind of fun projects as well. And you show your support. You hit us up on patreon.com/smarkoutmoment, where you do the YouTube members thing, and you check out the Darkcast and stuff that we might be doing. And, you show your support in whatever fashion that it is, then we'll be around next year. And we will see you then. And we will see you next time with whatever you click on, whatever you listen to. But for now, this has been another Smark Out moment, and we are being counted out.